Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. City. Start Awakening Time and Space Dual Spirits. Chapter 21. I hope Boss Hong goes well. Wang Tu felt a little nervous in his heart. King power is the same level as the king level powerhouse in Hong Zhen. This matter can only be done by Hong Zhen. If I go by myself, I am afraid that I will be beaten. For a while, Wang Tu actually hated the iron. If you are stronger, don't you have more right to speak? No, I have to retreat after the special training camp. After eating, Yi Feng received the benefits of being the first. 20 low-grade soul crystals and a bottle of true soul potion. If it was before, Yi Feng should be very excited. But just now I got 211 low-grade soul crystals, and these 20 pieces of soul crystals are a little unattractive for Yi Feng. Without any hesitation, all of them will be converted into martial soul points. 2,530. Yi Feng finally laughed. He is now a bronze 4-star, and he needs a lot of martial arts points to upgrade later. A 4-liter 5 costs 500, and a 5-liter 6 costs 900. And 6 liters 7 became 1,500 martial arts points. More than I thought. Yi Feng has a big head. It seems that Zhang Duer's wool is about to be smashed. Zhang Duer also said that he would give him other rewards. Well, I need more soul crystals later. This is a big family, and it's not worth it. As for the true soul agent, Yi Feng didn't plan to use it. This is equivalent to the enhanced version of the soul crystal, and the effect is 10 times that of the lower grade soul crystal. And the price is 20 times that of the low grade soul crystal. This kind of thing is tasteless to Yi Feng, who has the system. I went back and sold all of them for soul crystals. After thinking about it for a while, Yi Feng didn't add any more points. He planned to save it all for the summer vacation. During the summer vacation, I will definitely go to the wild, and it will not be too late to be at home by then. If you are lucky, you might even find the right spirit ring. Then Yi Feng came to the gravity room. The first is that it can be used for free and unlimited time. So Yi Feng didn't plan to go back, so he practiced here until dawn. The main function of the gravity room is to temper the physical body. Although spirit masters mainly focus on martial spirits, the physical body cannot be ignored either. On the one hand, the higher the strength of the physical body, the longer the number of years it can absorb spirit rings. On the other hand, according to Wang Tu's meaning, if the physical strength increases, the control power will also increase, which can indirectly improve the use of soul power. For the first time, Yi Feng did not rashly increase the gravity multiplier. Instead, start with 3x. In the silver gravity room, Yi Feng bent his legs the moment the triple gravity was activated. Immediately he straightened up. It's okay. After sensing it, Yi Feng felt that he should be able to withstand 5 times. After 10 minutes, Yi Feng adjusted and raised the gravity to 5 times. This time, all the bones in the body began to creak. Sour. It was only a few minutes, and Yi Feng felt overloaded. This is still the superposition of his innate full soul power and dual martial souls, and he may have already kneeled as an ordinary soul master. Just when Yi Feng was practicing, Dijing, Wang Quan, who had just finished his practice, was about to attend the meeting when the phone rang. Seeing that it was Hong Zhen Wang Quan, he smiled. It was really cool to scold this guy before, but I didn't expect that he would come to scold him again just one day later. After the call is connected, Hong Zhen, who has been going straight and raging, seems to be a different person. Cough, that old man. I suddenly remembered what happened 20 years ago. Hong Zhen tried his best to make his voice kinder. Seeing this 720's big change, the Kong next to him will be stunned. Is this still the regretful blood warlord who made the soul beasts terrified? Listening to the tone, how do you feel like coaxing your wife? No, Hong Zhen, as an alloy straight man, even if he coaxes his wife, this is not his attitude. Aren't you coming to ask me for Yi Feng again? Wang Quan said with a half smile but not a smile. I said no. Hong Zhen's expression was stagnant, and then he said, 20 years ago, we were chased and killed by the green poison overlord in the unbounded land for a long time. We all thought we were going to die. When Wang Quan heard the words, he seemed to return to the thrilling moment of the year. It was the most desperate situation he and Hong Zhen had ever faced, and it was still horrifying to think about it now. Time flies and things are wrong. Wang Quan sighed and turned around, but I just won't give it. You. Hong Zhen almost couldn't control his anger. After taking a deep breath, Hong Zhen continued, then do you still remember who rescued you? You, but Yi Fang is my student, you have nothing to do. Pharaoh, you're wrong, mother, cough, anyway, we have experienced life and death several times together. Hong Zhen's head turned quickly, and he complained in his heart. This way of speaking is simply more uncomfortable than facing the army of soul beasts. Well, that's right, but I still won't give it. Wang Quan crossed Erlang's legs and the old god was talking. Hong Zhen angrily wanted to curse. Old Wang Yifeng is a queer talent for you. If you give him to me, I promise to be a real son. I will give it to him like I am not a real father, and teach him without reservation. Wang Quan snorted when he heard the words. What do you mean by that? Could it be that I'm not as good as you? Hey, it's not bragging, you are not my opponent now. Hong Zhen laughed. Wang Quan. Hee hee, I have an old friend who is like a dick, and now the grave is full of green grass. Hong Zhen immediately said, Blood Dragon Crystal, plus the magic seal. The demon-proof seal was made by Dharma Venerable, and Dharma Venerable later exchanged it to Suzaku. Because of Hong Zhen's outstanding exploits, Suzaku awarded Hong Zhen the seal of conquering demons. This thing is more precious than the Blood Dragon Crystal. Wang Quan raised his brows. He didn't expect Hong Zhen to be so willing. After thinking about it, he said, no. Hong Zhen couldn't take it anymore, he was going to go crazy. You, Pharaoh, you are shameless. Hong Zhen's voice turned into rolling thunder and entered Wang Quan's ears. Wang Quan took the phone a little further away, since the mother is not happy. I'm delighting you, Hong Zhen said. If that's the case, let's solve it in a man's way. Let's fight when I come back, whoever wins Yi Feng belongs to whoever. Wang Quan sneered, hee hee, I'm afraid you won't succeed. HMPH, then it's settled. Hong Zhen is very confident in himself. He is the warlord of 10,000 wars and has experienced far more slaughter than King Power. Wang Quan is also very confident. It's just a mere reckless man, it's easy to win you. This old boy doesn't know what to do, bah. After hanging up the phone, Hong Junshi put his hands on his hips. I, Lao Hong, can't be careless in this battle, Let's practice. The next moment I heard a bang. Hong Zhen was like a respect cannon fired into the faraway battlefield. The army of soul beasts died in pieces under this terrifying aura. Blood Overseer. Farther away, a giant beast with a whole body burning black soul power and a height of 100 meters stepped out of the air. The space where the giant beast passed boiled, and the grass and trees instantly turned to ashes. Those soul beasts who couldn't escape wailed and died. The appearance of various colored soul rings made the dead battlefield shine brightly. The abyss rules, yo fool, come play with lousy. Hong Zhen laughed loudly, and his figure continued to rise, and in the blink of an eye, he became as terrifying as the master of the abyss. The abyss master raised his head, a pair of jet black eyes on his hill-like head, full of fighting intent. The next moment the beast and the giant collided. Boom! The sky crumbled, and the dark clouds rolled like a natural disaster. A battle of top powerhouses that shakes the world and weeps ghosts and gods begins. After cultivating in the gravity room for several hours, Yi Feng came to the Wuhun room. The spirit room can improve the fit between the spirit master and the spirit. At the same time, it is also one of the ways to indirectly increase the power of spirit abilities. If you are in the outside world, you need 50,000 for 1 hour. And here Yi Feng is free for unlimited use. Such a benefit Yi Feng really doesn't want to waste a minute or a second. The spirit room is more lively than the gravity room. Yi Feng saw a lot of people as soon as he arrived in the hall. God Yi is also coming to the Wuhun room. A fresh-faced young man walked over and said politely, Yi Shen has the first and second martial spirits. If the fit is improved, wouldn't it be against the sky? Yi Shen has gone against the sky, okay. I feel that Yi Shen's aura is very strong. After the battle at noon, Yi Feng completely convinced the geniuses. Yi Feng greeted everyone and then handed over his special training card. After verifying his identity, he entered the Wuhun room. There are 2 ways to use the spirit room. The first is martial spirit coercion, which is similar to the force of gravity on the body. Martial spirit coercion is designed to hone martial spirit. The second is martial spirit simulation, which can simulate an opponent with the same martial spirit. The advantage of this function is that it allows the soul master to know the strengths and weaknesses of his martial spirit more clearly. Of course, this is more useful to Yifeng and the others. People with big forces like Zuo Chohan and GTN are not needed, because their martial arts are family heritage. Buzz. When Yifeng turned on the switch, special energy spewed out from the surrounding walls. The lavender energy enveloped Yifeng, and suddenly an inexplicable pressure hit. This is specifically for martial arts. The spirit room cooperated with Wang Tu's secret method of controlling the soul. It was a perfect match. After Yifeng got used to it a little, he immediately began to practice the secret technique of controlling the soul. Wang Tu had specifically told Yifeng that if Yifeng could fully control it, he might be able to release an extra soul skill. The allure is absolutely huge. This practice is one night. Day 2. Today's class is more interesting. Wang Tu asked everyone to release their martial spirits, and then did high-intensity physical training without using any spirit skills. This is also one of the ways to improve the compatibility of martial arts. In addition, it also helps to increase the body's understanding of the operation of soul power. If it is said that Yifeng's application level is 1%, then after these 2 days of training, it has reached 10%. But don't underestimate this 10%. It means that the same soul power Yifeng has a stronger life-saving ability. In the special training camp, Yifeng started a life of 2 points and 1 line. Even Yifeng didn't even eat, so he either went to the gravity room of the martial arts room or went to class. The daily classes in the special training camp are completely different. Soul power control, martial arts mastery, physical training, actual combat drills, etc. These courses are very practical and very advanced. 7 days passed in a blink of an eye. Yifeng and the others have spent half their time in the special training camp. After the first 7 days of training, everyone has grown a lot. The fit between Yifeng and Wuhun has reached 19%. This speed of progress made Wang Tu so happy that he found a treasure. He naturally knew the battle between Hongzhen and Wang Quan. For his boss, Wang Tu is super confident. Even with him, he opened a small stove for Yifeng. In addition to Yifeng, Zuo Chohan, GTN and Zhang Duer made breakthroughs at the same time. There are not a few others who have broken through. After the actual combat in the morning, Wang Tu looked around the scene and said expressionlessly, "It's okay, we will go to the Heavenly Soul Forest to practice in the afternoon, take the city as the unit." Many people were shocked. This is the first field battle of the special training camp, and it is also the second battle with a city as a unit. The last time was 3 days ago. Don't ask, the question is that Dijing headed by Yifeng is crushing the audience. Up to now, Zuo Chohan and other Tianzhao still seem to give up and struggle. After listening to Wang Tu's words, everyone subconsciously looked at the students of Dijing. Unconsciously began to envy. Dijing Yuya Shen must be the first in efficiency. Not only other cities have this idea, but also Shaoyan and the others. Hey, this time, each city will be divided into 4 groups. Wang Tu said, take the city as a large unit and a group as a small unit. Let the respective captains divide it by themselves. After the division is complete, we will set off. Yifeng looked at the crowd and said, there are 20 of us in total, that is to say, a group of 5. Well, Siji Tian leads a team, Zhang Duoer leads a team, and Lin Hao leads a team. How do you feel? No one disagreed with this plan. Then it's time to start picking people. Yifeng picked Shaoyan and other 4 weak ones. The 4 teams are basically level in terms of strength. Of course, everyone knows that Yifeng can't use common sense. One person can handle a group of this stuff. The Heavenly Soul Forest is located on the outskirts of the magic capital. Like the Tianshu Mountains, it is one of the gathering places for low-level soul masters. 2 hours later, under the leadership of Wang Tu and Qi Chen, everyone came to the outskirts of the forest. The group walked out of the fighter plane and looked around. The time period is 2 days. In these 2 days, everyone tried to kill as many alien beasts as possible. Qi Chen said, in terms of safety, Wang Zhen and I will try our best to ensure that. Of course, the forest is too big. If there is an accident, you can only blame yourself for not being strong enough. As soon as this statement came out, many people present changed slightly. This means that survival in the wild today is life-threatening. Wang Tu sneered. Does this scare you little brats? President Xi didn't say it directly enough. The so-called guarantee as much as possible means that it depends on the mood. Do you understand? Immediately, everyone's heart sank. Although they were only practicing at the outermost periphery, and the powerful soul beasts had already been cleaned up in advance. But there are always fish that slip through the net. Xiao Yan and Hu Yuru belong to Yi Feng's team. At this moment, they all feel at ease. And Lin Hao's team members became more and more envious. Okay, let's go, Qi Chen said. Remember, if you are in distress, you can only help the students in your city, and others are not allowed to help. After saying this, Qi Chen and Wang Tu Yuzai got on the fighter plane. The fighter plane floated into the air and disappeared into the clouds. Let's go. Yi Feng waved his hand. 2 hours later, Xiao Yan and Hu Yuru stared at Yi Feng eagerly. Yi Feng put away the sword of nothingness and Wu Hun looked indifferent. Boss, can you let us practice as well? Hu Yuru smiled bitterly. In the past 2 hours, they encountered 12 soul beasts. In the end, it was all solved by Yi Feng. Those who are a little stronger are just fine. Some 500-year-old soul beast Hu Yuru wanted to practice and was killed by Yi Feng before she could pass. Although it felt good to lie down and do nothing, but Wang Tu was given the task. If the task is not completed, the punishment is chilling. Oh, Yi Feng nodded. Go kill you, I didn't stop you. After Yi Feng finished speaking, everyone rolled their eyes. We thought, the question is, have you given it a chance? When did you encounter a near miss that you didn't solve with one stroke? A time with strong strength freezes, and there is no chance at all, okay. Yi Feng shrugged, so don't blame me. It is rare to enter the wild. Yi Feng is reluctant to let go of every soul beast. After all, mosquito legs are also meat. In 2 hours, Yi Feng has already earned 400 spirit points, so this is a good opportunity to waste. Swish. At this moment, there was a sound in the distant jungle. A few days ago, everyone cooperated, and everyone stood in their own positions and possessed their spirits. When Yi Feng grouped together, he considered strong attack and control as well as support. So the strength of each group is very comprehensive. It looks like a red striped ant. Hu Yuru felt a little dignified on her face after sensing it. Captain, we're probably in trouble. The red striped ant is an outlier among ants. Unlike other ant soul beasts, they like to fight alone. Since it is a single combat strength, there is no need to say. Adult red striped ants have at least the strength of 1 silver star. Yi Feng nodded. Get ready to fight. Just finished speaking, an ant the size of a buffalo walked out of the forest. The ants have red lines on their bodies. If you look closely, the lines flow slowly like blood. A pair of eyes are extremely cold and terrifying. Silver 3 stars. After sensing the strength of the red striped ants, Hu Yuru's pretty face turned pale. Xiao Yan and the others also had the same expression, and their hearts were raised in their throats. Great. Who knew that Yi Feng's eyes lit up? The strength of the previous soul beasts was average, which made him a little boring. After hearing Yi Feng's words, everyone was ashamed. Hu Yuru reminded. Boss, you have to be careful. Before the words were finished, the red striped ant opened its wide mouth and rushed over quickly. Buzz. The time clock was possessed, and a purple spirit ring appeared under his feet. Time freezes. Not contrary to Yi Feng's expectations, the speed of the red striped ants plummeted. However, the red striped ant is stronger, and although the speed has dropped significantly, it has not been set in place for the first time. Seeing this scene, Hu Yuru and the others' eyes widened. Even the silver 3 stars are affected. You must know that the age of the red striped ants with silver 3 stars has reached 600 years. The red striped ant's not so smart head suddenly panicked. It found itself in a quagmire that no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't break free. The speed is still getting slower and slower. Yi Feng didn't waste time. The sword of nothingness appeared. Space blade. The space instantly condensed into a 30-meter-long blade. Immediately in the shock of Hu Yuru and others, the space blade hit the red striped ant at an incredible speed. The Void God blade controls the power of space, so the most difficult part of this space blade is that its speed is too fast. In exchange for ordinary soul skills, there is a certain distance between them and the target. The space blade can ignore this distance and hit directly. Therefore, in the induction of Huyuru and others, the space blade seemed to appear directly on the top of the red striped ant's head. The ant's defense is pretty good. But in front of the space blade, it doesn't look enough. PFF'd. The red striped ants that were struggling to break free from the solidification of time were immediately cut in half. The wound was so smooth that even the blood had not had time to flow out. As the most powerful weapon spirit, the sharpness of the Void God's sword is unimaginable. As this dead, Huyuru refreshed her understanding of Yifeng again. On the other hand, Xiaoyan and the others were shocked and adored. If Yifeng wasn't there, they might have been wiped out. However, this outrageous red striped ant was like an ant in the face of Yifeng, and had no resistance. Just when Yifeng was looking forward to getting more martial arts points. Ding! Successfully killed the red striped ant and obtained a true martial soul stone. Yifeng was stunned for a moment, then ecstatic. Holy crap, what a surprise. The spirit stone can increase the life of the spirit ring by 600 years. Originally, Yifeng thought that this thing should be extremely rare. But now it seems that the explosion rate is very high. At the same time, a yellow spirit ring appeared on the corpse of the red striped ant. Yifeng looked at everyone with a look of admiration. Does anyone want it? The four Huyuru shook their heads at the same time. Immediately, Huyuru adored with divine light in her beautiful eyes. Boss, you are really unfathomable. You thought Yifeng had reached the limit. As a result, people are just getting started. You think Yifeng defeated Zuo Chohan with all his strength, but in fact, they didn't take it seriously at all. Such a man made Huyuru full of the desire to conquer. Yifeng gave Huyuru a deep look. Xiaohu, this idiom is inappropriate for a man, right? What? Huyuru was stunned. Immediately, her pretty face blushed and her eyes widened provocatively. You can try my depth. Yifeng showed a mysterious smile, but he could understand it in seconds. Okay, let's talk in simple terms when we find a chance. Huyuru was instantly defeated. She just has a more outgoing personality and a strong mouth. When encountering an old-fashioned embryo like Yifeng, Huyuru, a big girl with a yellow flower, is no match for her. Ha ha. Seeing Huyuru shriveled, Yifeng felt good. Then he looked at the corpse of the red striped ant. Look to see if there are soul cores. Yifeng summoned the sword of nothingness and began to dissect the corpse. The soul core is where the soul power of soul beasts condenses, and there are not many bronze-level soul beasts. But there are almost all silver-level soul beasts. The Void God knife is really suitable for dissection. After a few seconds, a pale red fist-sized soul nucleus came into view. Yifeng nodded with satisfaction. Although the soul core of the soul beast contains a lot of soul power, the effect is even better than the soul crystal. But it cannot be absorbed directly. Because this is the soul power of the soul beast, rashly absorbing it will cause the soul power in the body to be disordered, and at worst, it will be utterly insane. This thing is usually sold to Soul Crystal Mining Group. The soul core of the red striped ant is about 80,000 yuan on the market. I hope to have more spirit stones. Yifeng was in a very good mood. Just rushing to the martial soul true stone, I can't slack off these 2 days. This time the field experience area is very large. Except for the team that met Lin Hao at the beginning, the other teams had never met. And because Wang Tu and the others had cleared the field ahead of time, there were only 298 of them in the huge area. Suddenly it was getting dark. Yifeng roughly estimated that he had killed at least 50 soul beasts. In addition to the previous ones, Yifeng's martial soul point has now reached as many as 5,000. During this period, some inconspicuous Yifeng asked Huyuru and the others to kill them. And the bronze peak and above were shot by Yifeng himself. It's just that there has never been a spirit real stone. This made Yifeng secretly feel a pity. Brother Feng, it's getting dark. Xiaoyan asked. No one was injured in this day's battle. The time with Yifeng is frozen, and often people are solved by Yifeng as soon as they encounter a crisis. So 4 people worship at the same time, also very grateful. Yifeng looked around. Sleeping in the wild is very dangerous. There are not many soul beasts during the day, but at night they all come out for food. I'm watching, you can sleep if you want. Yifeng said. Let's set off in 3 hours, we can't stay in place anymore. It's still half an hour before dark. In addition, Some soul beasts often haunt late at night, so sleeping for 3 hours is fine. But once it's late at night, it won't work. And we all have to move. Otherwise, it is easy to be targeted by powerful soul beasts. These soul beasts are very sensitive to the breath of human beings. Okay, thank you Brother Feng. Brother Feng has worked hard. Brother Feng, I'm going to warm the bed for you. The 3 Xiaoyan were moved and thanked. They were indeed a little tired from running around this day. Said the 3 of them took the time to find a comfortable place to lie down. Huyuru, you can sleep too. Yi Feng said. Huyuru flipped her hair, her charming eyes with a smile. If I don't accompany you in the long night, you will be so lonely. Yi Feng raised his brows. That's all for now, let's be friends with Bao Bao. Come, Huyuru intends to get back on the scene, and has a very proud capital. Who is afraid of who? Yi Feng walked over to Huyuru and said, what are you waiting for? You. Huyuru looked stiff. This guy didn't play cards according to the routine. Come on, it's only 3 hours. Yi Feng said while unzipping the zipper. This time, Huyuru was frightened. You don't come here. Huyuru stretched out her jade hand to block her face in front of her chest. Ha ha ha. Yi Feng smiled proudly. How dare this woman provoke me? Huyuru was stunned for a moment, and immediately realized that she had been tricked. Hey, I'm pissed off. Huyuru was so angry that she was helpless to Yi Feng. Drip 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 drip. Yi Feng was about to speak when a sudden alarm sound came from the watch. Someone is in danger, Yi Feng and Huyuru said at the same time. This is what Wang Tu sent to everyone before they came. It can locate each other's position, whether it is saving people or teamwork, it is very helpful. It's GTN's team. Each team has a different color. After identifying it, Yi Feng said, Huyuru, wake up everyone, and then don't walk around here, I'll go take a look. Since they can make GTN and the others call for help, they must be very strong soul beasts. Huyuru and the others went to no avail. Huyuru nodded with a complicated look. She is a genius in the second middle school. Even among the senior high school students in the country, her talent is the top. Although it may seem out of place, I am very proud of it. But now they can't help quickly, which makes Huyuru a little bit shocked. At the same time, it is 1 kilometer away from Yi Feng's place. GTN and the 4 team members were all injured. The others were better. GTN's clothes were stained with blood, and his eyes were filled with deep exhaustion and irritability. Like Yi Feng's plan, he planned to let the team members sleep for a while, and then move on when it was late at night. But unfortunately, a ghost leopard who was foraging found them. The strength of this ghost leopard is 6-star silver, and it is a 720-year-old soul beast. The nether leopard's defense is average, but its speed is extremely fast. Coupled with the fact that the whole body is completely black and perfectly fits the current night, it is quite difficult for everyone to cope. Even if GTN used some trump cards from the family, it didn't work. The ghost leopard with a height of about 2 meters is considered an average size among the soul beasts. However, the muscles on his body are very conspicuous, and there are bursts of black mist when he walks around. What about the captain? Someone behind GTN said in despair. At this time, Wang Tu has not yet appeared, indicating that the situation here has not yet been discovered. Just as GTN was about to speak, the nether leopard suddenly disappeared. Not good. After GTN finished speaking, the Zidian Chijinlong martial soul let out a deafening roar. He wanted to use his martial spirit to bring some oppression to the nether leopard. Facts have proved to be useful. After all, Zidian Chijinlong is a top-level beast martial arts. But the effect is too small. At most it will make the nether leopard's strength drop a little bit. The moment the nether leopard disappeared, everyone's expressions changed drastically. Everyone stood back to back, looking flustered. It is also fortunate that the special training camp has not lacked actual combat and cooperation during this time, otherwise these people may have been wiped out. Call out. A burst of wind came from everyone's ears. However, no one saw the nether leopard. Call out. After a few seconds, there was another cracking sound. The expressions of several people changed. The unknown is the most terrifying, and everyone's psychological pressure is getting stronger and stronger. Even GTN couldn't help being irritated. But he dared not act rashly. If there is a slight error, he may be bitten by the nether leopard, and he has encountered it before. PFF'd. Just when everyone was on guard, Chen Biao behind GTN heard something torn apart. Looking down, there was an arm-length scratch on the abdomen. What? Chen Biao screamed in fright, and the blood began to drip at this time. This call made everyone who was on the verge of collapse completely collapsed. GTN's expression changed. Don't panic. However, it is useless. The formation was instantly broken up, and Chen Biao clutched his stomach in pain and kept giving himself medicine. Everyone, don't move, just stand in formation if you don't want to die. GTN's face was extremely ugly, and he felt that this time it was really dangerous. With GTN's efforts to maintain, the formation finally recovered. Immediately, GTN handed Chen Biao a bottle of blood tonic. Strange, why don't you continue to attack? GTN had some doubts in his heart. The formation of everyone dispersed just now, which is a perfect opportunity for the nether leopard. As long as you shoot, you will definitely be able to take one. Even he would be hit hard. When Chen Biao took the good medicine, everyone reacted. It's too quiet now. GTN was very vigilant in his heart, there must be demons when things go wrong. Wow, but at this moment, a shrill roar came from a distance. GTN's face changed, it was the nether leopard. Chen Biao and the others also reacted, and they were all ecstatic. Haha, it's the teacher who made the move. Chen Biao almost cried with joy. Great, we don't have to die. Wow, you scared me to death. All fell to the ground at the same time. GTN sensed for a while and suddenly froze, something was wrong. If Wang Tu and the others had shot, the nether leopard would have already died. But now, there is still a fight in the distance. Not a teacher. GTN murmured, and suddenly his face changed slightly, it's Yifeng. In the jungle 100 meters away, the ghost leopard let out an angry and helpless roar. When it had just eaten and was wandering around, it ran into GTN and his group. The greedy nether leopard for human flesh chose to attack decisively. It went smoothly all the way, and even the ghost leopard had the idea of playing with these humans. But just after sneaking a sneak attack on a human kid, the nether leopard sensed Yifeng's breath. Although this human being is not strong, it has a faint sense of crisis in it. Only then did they give up on Chen Biao and the others turned to Yifeng. It has to be said that the training in the special training camp greatly increased Yifeng's ability to predict. When the nether leopard was almost invisible and planned to attack Yifeng, Yifeng immediately used time to freeze. Then, it was time for the nether leopard to be helpless and angry. Although the ghost leopard is strong, and the speed is like a ghost. But after falling into the freezing of time, its speed is no different from that of the dying old man. While roaring hard, he tried his best to step out with his front paws. But no matter how hard the nether leopard tried, the speed never improved. Even, with the passage of time, the speed of the ghost leopard is getting slower and slower. That's the scary thing about the time clock. As the incarnation of time, the soul skill of time freezing will become stronger and stronger as time passes. In exchange for ordinary soul skills, it is almost impossible to have the ability to increase the effect over time. Still struggling, Yifeng was not angry. If I hadn't been careful enough, Mud might have been attacked just now. Buzz. Immediately, the void god sword appeared. After seeing the sword of nothingness, the nether leopard, who was struggling, showed a hint of horror. At that moment just now, its sense of crisis was elevated to the extreme. Ouch! Immediately, the nether leopard struggled even more intensely. With a much stronger strength than Yifeng, the nether leopard was really a little bit faster. But, only a little bit. Buzz. A yellow spirit ring appeared under Yifeng's feet. Immediately, the space in front of him condensed into a 30-meter-long blade. This blade Yifeng can clearly perceive. But the ghost leopard couldn't see it. It can only vaguely feel as if it is locked by something. At this moment, GTN and the others came over. It sure is him. GTN didn't have many surprises after seeing Yifeng. After all, Yifeng was the only one who dared to come after knowing his situation. But when he saw the state of the nether leopard, he was immediately confused. Is this still that ghostly leopard? Are you sure it's not a tortoise? At this time, the speed of the ghost leopard is similar to that of a child who has just learned to walk. It seems to have been slowed down countless times. His soul ability has even been affected by the nether leopard. At this moment, GTN had a creepy feeling. Yi Feng, where is his limit? With the strength of the 4 bronze stars to control the 6 silver stars, is this the horror of the time clock? As expected of the strongest martial spirit in history. Call out. In the sluggishness of several people, the space blade landed instantly. Ow! Immediately, the nether leopard let out a shrill roar again. Only this time it hurts. PFF'd. The incomparably sharp space blade sank into the back of the nether leopard. Although the nether leopard was not cut in half, the terrifying wound still caused the nether leopard to be fatally injured. The moment the breath fell, the strength of the nether leopard's struggle suddenly decreased. Immediately, it was completely frozen by time. Seeing this scene, even GTN, who knew that Yi Feng was strong, was not calm. This just beat us to the death. Now it's been abolished directly by Half-Life. Chen Biao covered his stomach and his eyes were about to kick out. Yi Feng with 4 bronze stars actually inflicted heavy damage on the ghost leopard with 6 silver stars. OMG, I must be dreaming. Sure enough, we still have to improve our strength. Yi Feng was a little disappointed when he saw that the nether leopard was not killed by a single blow. If GTN and the others knew about this, they would be severely beaten. Call out. Then Yi Feng made another cut. If this ghostly leopard, known for its speed, still has thoughts at this moment, it will definitely be shocked by the speed of the space blade. Compared to the space blade, its proud speed is a joke. After an instant, the huge body of the nether leopard was cut open. Ding! Successfully kill the ghost leopard to trigger a rare reward, get a dead ghost wolf soul ring. The moment the ghost leopard died, the system prompt sounded. What? At first Yi Feng thought it was martial soul point, but then his body trembled. Immediately, the light in the eyes skyrocketed. Yi Feng didn't expect that the system could even reward spirit rings. At this moment, Yi Feng almost couldn't control himself and wanted to scream in the sky. Before he asked what rewards the system could get. But the system says it needs to explore on its own. In addition, this day is mostly dominated by martial arts points. Therefore, Yi Feng felt that the rarest thing might be the spirit stone. He never dreamed of having a spirit ring. When Yi Feng's mental power was introduced into the storage space that came with the system, a soul ring emitting purple light came into his mind. Immediately afterwards, information about the spirit ring skills flooded in. Lying. Trough. Yi Feng trembled with excitement. The soul skill of the Death Wolf soul ring is called Death Withering. Simply put, it is to increase the target's time flow rate to the extreme, thereby greatly reducing the target's lifespan. This kind of soul skill is unheard of. As for the Death Wolf, this is a legendary soul beast that has now disappeared. It is said that in a long time ago, the dead wolf was the apostle of the god of death. In Yi Feng's view, this should be equivalent to Erlang God and Howling Dog. So strong, so strong. Yi Feng clenched his fists and couldn't be more excited. This feeling is much more exciting than 10 million in the previous life. Yi Feng could even imagine the scene where his opponent would die of old age with a single thought. Controlling life and death is more terrifying than the freezing of time. Haha, I can't control life, but I can control death. Yi Feng's mind was filled with these second-class words. Rare rewards. Yi Feng quickly asked. System, what is the probability of rare rewards? Back to the host, the probability of rare rewards is very low. The system replied. It's possible. Yi Feng couldn't close his mouth with a smile. Even if the probability is low, it will happen sooner or later. According to the specifications of this time, no matter what it is, as long as it is rare, it is definitely the best. Time-type soul beasts are too rare. Coupled with the ability to have time, it often lives in various time dimensions, which is extremely difficult for ordinary people to find. For example, Yi Feng's first soul ring, the Time Mysterious Turtle, is like this. It is said that the Time Mysterious Turtle will cycle back and forth between today and tomorrow. Where can you find this ability? So Yi Feng was also very troubled about his next soul ring. This was one of the reasons why he didn't use up all his martial soul points. But now, the system is one-stop service. Soul ring hard to find. Give the spirit ring. The age of the spirit ring is not enough. Give you the age. It feels really good to hang up. Yi Feng grinned. GTN and the others on the side looked horrified. What happened to this great god? Ever since he killed the nether leopard, he has been shocked and excited for a while. Well, Killing the silver soul beast with the strength of bronze is indeed something to be proud of. Chen Biao asked himself if he wanted to take pictures and post them on the internet as soon as possible. I have to improve myself as soon as possible. Yi Feng took a deep breath and couldn't hide his excitement. Once you reach the bronze great perfection, you can absorb the soul ring of the dead wolf. And after reaching the silver level, with these 2,000-year-old spirit rings, Yi Feng's physical fitness will also be greatly improved. At that time, the spirit bones attached to the void dragon eagle given to him by the chess king can also be absorbed. By that time, my combat power and self-protection ability will be greatly improved. Yi Feng is full of great expectations for the next day. Immediately, Yi Feng's gaze towards GTN became full of affection. If it weren't for this guy's bad luck, I wouldn't have this harvest. It's a bit rude to say that, but it's true. Yi Feng, thank you for your kindness. Seeing Yi Feng looking at him, GTN said sincerely, I owe you my life. Cough cough. Yi Feng coughed lightly. Why do you feel ashamed? Chen Biao and the other four also thanked them one after another. At the same time, Yi Feng was in the sky above their area. A fighter jet emitting white light was suspended at 5,000 meters. On the fighter plane, Wang Tu and Qi Chen looked at each other. Immediately, Qi Chen sighed. Dijing University is so lucky. In fact, the two felt it from the moment the nether leopard attacked GTN. It's just that the two of them didn't make a move but quietly watched. In addition to improving everyone's actual combat ability, the most important point of this field experience is to experience crises to improve mentality. Originally, Wang Tu planned to wait until GTN and the others were seriously injured before going down. But who knew that Yi Feng was here? Wang Tu and Qi Chen were both nervous at first. After all, it was a 6-star silver leopard. And what happened next was beyond the expectations of the two bosses. Until now, both of them didn't react. Wang Tu glanced at Qi Chen and said nothing, thinking that this kid is from the army and has nothing to do with your education system. Up to 10 years, Yi Feng should be able to surpass us. Qi Chen exclaimed. Wang Tu said, 10 years. Cut. I think Yi Feng only needs 5 years. Qi Chen was stunned and nodded immediately. 300 years ago, the amazing man who possessed the sword of nothingness became the leader of the great masters in just 10 years. And if the one of the time clock hadn't been targeted by the soul beast too early, he might have become the 4th pillar of the human race long ago. Qi Chen thought of this, and so did Wang Tu. Wang Tu's face gradually became colder. This kid is not famous enough yet, and when he becomes more famous, he will inevitably be targeted by soul beasts. Yeah, those overlords won't let Yi Feng grow up. Qi Chen nodded. I don't know if Lord Suzaku knows about this. Wang Tu said. No matter what, we must buy time for these children. It's natural, Qi Chen said. Don't take it lightly. It is not easy for the human race to have today's situation, but the powerhouse among the soul beasts has gradually recovered. The next situation will be more and more troublesome. The appearance of Yi Feng has given hope to the high-level officials like Wang Tu and the powerhouses who know some secrets. And today's human race, it can be said that the most lack is hope. Seeing that Yi Feng had joined Hu Yuru and the others, Qi Chen suddenly said, my granddaughter has reached the age to talk about marriage. As soon as this statement came out, Wang Tu sneered, haha, who started talking about marriage at the age of 12? Shameless. If you want Yi Feng to be your grandson-in-law, it depends on your age. Hee, there is time. Qi Chen smiled. This Yi Feng, the more you look at it, the more satisfied you are. Wang Tu is indifferent. Why do I have no granddaughter? That stinky boy at home gave birth to a grandson for me, and the grandson is very useful. How's it going? Hu Yuru and Xiao Yan came up at the same time with concerned expressions. After Yi Feng left, Xiao Yan and the others woke up. It's nothing, it's settled. Yi Feng said lightly. How to solve it? Hu Yuru asked curiously. It should be a very strong existence that can get GTN and the others into trouble. Yi Feng didn't hide it and said casually, it's just a ghostly leopard with 6 silver stars. Don't worry, it has been killed, and it will not pose a threat to everyone. Oh. Several people breathed a sigh of relief, and then suddenly froze. What? Hu Yuru's voice became sharp. Buy in 6 stars. Be quiet. Yi Feng frowned and said, aren't you afraid of dying at night? Hu Yuru hurriedly shut up, then lowered her voice and said, "You can even kill 6 silver stars." Xiao Yan and the others almost worshipped him on the knees. "Yes, I've asked here and there, is it annoying?" Yi Feng said impatiently. "Big guy." Hu Yuru was instantly adored. With this talent, this strength, and his incomparably handsome appearance, you can't close your legs at all, okay. The next evening, the 2-day field experience has come to an end. Yi Feng looked at his panel. 8530 Martial Soul has been ordered, do you want to advance now? Yi Feng hesitated. The spirit ring that has broken through to silver already exists, and the outer spirit bone of the void dragon eagle is also constantly seducing him in the storage space. This temptation is not ordinary. But Yi Feng also has his own concerns. If the strength increases too fast, it will attract more people's attention. It is actually better to improve during the summer vacation after the special training camp. After thinking about it, Yi Feng made a decision. Raise 2 stars first. Anyway, I'm practicing now, and everyone's strength has improved during this time, so 2 stars won't attract much attention. With a thought, Yi Feng finished adding points. Host, Yi Feng. Realm, Bronze 6 stars. Martial Soul, Void God Sword. Soul Ring, 1. Void Crocodile, 500 years, Space Blade. Martial Soul, Time Clock. Soul Ring, 1. Time Mysterious Turtle, 1000 years, Time Freeze. Martial Soul Point, 7130. There are so many in the back. After the strength was improved, Yi Feng also saw the martial soul points that the following stars needed. Bronze 6 to Bronze 7 requires 1500 spirit points, while 7 Leader 8 reaches 3000. 8 Leaders 9 is also doubled, requiring 6000 martial arts points. You must know that Wuhun points are all money. There's a long way to go. It is still 2870 martial soul points away from Bronze 9 stars. Team Leader, Hu Yuru looked at Yi Feng in a daze curiously and said, "Should we go back?" Yi Feng nodded. "Let's go." As he spoke, he took everyone out of the depressing forest. This day can be said to be a surprise. With Yi Feng there, Hu Yuru and the others were not worried about their own survival at all. As for the task of this experience, everyone has exceeded it. Of course, Yi Feng's help is indispensable here. After leaving the forest, many teams have returned. Yi Feng glanced at it and couldn't help feeling a little sympathetic. Except for a very small number, basically everyone is injured. A boy from Linzhou No. 2 middle school even broke a leg. If Wang Tu hadn't arrived in time, maybe this guy would have become a pile of poo now. Seeing Yi Feng and the others returning almost without damage, everyone was a little stunned. Immediately, Zhou Yu glanced at Lin Hao resentfully. It can be said that they followed Lin Hao for the past 2 days. I didn't think there was anything at first, but the contrast gap came out immediately. Tisk tisk, so miserable. Hu Yuru gave everyone a stab in the heart. Did everyone go to the same place? Immediately, everyone's expressions became more and more resentful. Not long after, a few more teams returned. Zhang Duer's round face was stained with dust and blood. Obviously these 2 days are not easy. Yi Feng, you guys. After watching for a while, Zhang Duer's eyes widened. Did you not go or did you? Duer, we just came back. Hu Yuru took Zhang Duer's hand and chatted. After a while, Zhang Duer suddenly felt aggrieved and wanted to cry. She was chased by a group of black-horned pigs for more than 10 kilometers last night. During the day, a teammate accidentally stepped on a bird's egg, which resulted in the pursuit of 2 silver 2-star big birds. This day, almost all spent in escape. It's all your fault. Zhang Duer looked at the players next to her angrily. That person is even more aggrieved. I am the worst, okay. If it wasn't for his quick response, he would be a one-egg man at this moment. As he said that, he glanced at his crotch with lingering fears, only to feel that there was still a dull pain somewhere. Yi Feng looked at Zhang Duer out of the corner of his eye. Yes, it is indeed a battle armor of the royal heaven. After so much, I didn't get hurt. After waiting for a while, everyone returned. Wang Tu already knew everyone's achievements and didn't say anything. The fighter jet shot into the sky with a swoosh. After returning to the imperial capital, they all went back to rest and make up for their sleep. And Yi Feng came to the Wuhun room. There is still a lot of room for improvement in his control of the spirit and the use of spirit power. According to Wang Tu, the stronger the strength, the more difficult it will be to lay a foundation. Since I don't plan to advance for the time being, I'll lay a solid foundation to prepare for the future. At the same time, the battle somewhere in the Shira world finally ended. Hong Zhen was drenched in blood and brass armor. Ha ha, Laozi is done here, Lao Wang is waiting to be abused by me. As he spoke, he stepped into a radiant teleportation formation. Taikyo University. Wang Quan opened his eyes as if feeling it. Crackling. Immediately, Wang Quan got up slowly, and the bones all over his body made a crackling sound. It's also time to be active. I hope Lao Hong is more resistant to beatings than before. It disappeared instantly. Suburbs of Taikyo. Buzz. Before long, a tyrannical breath appeared. Pharaoh came out to fight. Hong Zhen's voice was so loud that he could hear it clearly even after a distance of 10 kilometers. The nearby low-level alien beasts fled after sensing the breath that made their scalps numb. Call out. As soon as Hong Zhen's voice fell, the sky was flickering. Immediately, these rays of light gathered and condensed into a human form. Hong Zhen's eyes narrowed. He knew who was coming. At the moment when the light dissipated, a burly middle-aged man with bald head said, "Commander Hong is in good spirits. This is the imperial capital of the divine prison. Its strength is the same as Hong Zhen's king level. In terms of status, the two are also at the same level." Hong Zhen said with some dissatisfaction, "Lian Junfo, what are you doing here without staying in the imperial capital? The divine prison is headed by the Dharma Venerable, and below it is the imperial capital. The duty of the imperial capital is to guard the imperial capital, but if there is a threat to the imperial capital will take action. Therefore, it is almost impossible to leave the imperial capital." Lian Zhen Buddha said without a smile, "On the order of the Dharma Venerable, I came to the show. Just look at it, or help me, Lao Hong, to be a witness." Hearing the word, Falun Dafa, Hong Zhen didn't care. He laughed and said, "That old boy from the provincial king's power won't admit the loss." Crash. At this moment, the sky suddenly shone with golden light. Hong Zhen looked over and said, "Why is the military counselor Lu here?" Before he finished speaking, Lu Shan and Wang Quan appeared in front of them together. Lu Shan is also a king, and his identity is the military counselor of Qish. This is a position at the same level as the imperial capital, the overseer, and the president of Taikyo University. Chess Pavilion is known for its strategy, and the main responsibility of the military staff under his command is to formulate combat strategies. Simply put, it is a senior military officer. Under the military staff is Xuanji, who is mainly responsible for divination and spying on heaven's secrets. Under the mystery is the chess guardian. Shi Shui, who gave Yifeng the attached spirit bone before, was the chess protector. The chess guardians are all students of the chess king, and their duty is to help the chess king hold and manage chess. The chess guardian of the chess pavilion and the prisoner of the god's prison have similar strengths and the same level. For a time, the four great kings gathered in the suburbs, the situation changed, and a tyrannical breath to the extreme traveled for hundreds of kilometers. Lu Shanhei's temperament is much more refined than Lian Junfo and Hong Zhen. He was dressed in a green shirt and held a folding fan in his hand. At first glance, Lu Shan, who had a fair face, looked like a young man in his 20s, and seemed a little out of place among the four. "Lu Shan, you came just in time. Today, you will be a witness to Lian Zhen Buddha," Hong Zhen said carelessly. "Some people in the province are also in debt." Wang Quan unhurriedly took off his suit jacket, stacked them neatly and put them in the storage ring. Only then did he say, "Old Hong, let's not play fake games. 3 moves are sure to win or lose. They are all powerful superpowers, and if they play for a long time, their respective jobs will be paralyzed." Ha ha ha, well, it's still your old king who thought about it carefully and did it like this. Hong Zhen said, "Pharaoh, Yifeng will be mine after today. Stop talking nonsense, prepare the blood dragon crystal and the demon seal." The air of kingship is gradually rising. At the same time, there was a slender sword in his hand. Buzz. A peculiar roar sounded in Hong Zhen's body. Immediately, he continued to grow taller. It didn't take long for him to become a 30-meter tall golden ape man. Lian Junfo and Lu Shan looked at each other, and immediately spread their palms at the same time. A pitch-black space crack enveloped the four of them and disappeared into this world. The battle between the two kings can definitely cause the effect of heaven and earth torn apart. So Lien Junfo and Lu Shan teamed up to open up a temporary space for them to fight. Boom! The light group flickered in this temporarily open space. Ordinary people here can't even catch the shadow of Hong Zhen and Wang Quan. Lien Yudu, who do you think will win the two of them? Lu Shan said with interest. Opportunities like this are rare. Lien Junfo's eyes turned with the two of them. The old way, it must be a draw. Everyone is a peak king, and they know each other well. In addition, it is not a battle of life and death, so it is difficult to decide the winner. Lu Shan also nodded, he also thought so. This time, he and Lien Zhen Buddha came here to watch a play. On the other hand, it is to protect this land. After waiting for a while, Lien Junfo and Lu Shan raised their heads at the same time. It's time to decide the outcome. Far away, the golden giant slammed into the long sword exuding a fierce imposing manner. Boom! The space collapsed, and the aura of the collision swept and spread like a tsunami. Lien Junfo and Lu Shan laughed at the same time. Sure enough, as soon as the words fell, Hong Zhen and Wang Quan ended their martial spirit possession at the same time. Wang Quan took back his martial soul and looked at Hong Zhen with a smile. Hong Zhen was a little depressed. It was a draw. Old Hong, this matter is over. Wang Quan stretched his waist and yawned, if you make me comfortable later, maybe I'll send Yifeng to you to practice for a while when I'm happy. Experience. Hong Zhen's eyes lit up. Speaking is what? Oh, when did my kingship backtrack? According to Wang Quan's plan, he accepted Yifeng as an introductory disciple after the first year of school. After that, a series of trainings for Yifeng began. And naturally, the Shira world is indispensable. Wang Quan estimated that he would be able to go when Yifeng reached the gold level in his second year. At that time, the role of Hong Zhen as a tool person will be reflected. Hey, it's not in vain for me to praise you, Lao Wang, for your kindness. Hong Zhen was so happy that he couldn't keep his mouth shut. At the same time, Taikyo University. Why are you calling me here? I still need to practice. Li Fengxian sat on the sofa carelessly and asked. In front of the desk, a young man with golden glasses smiled and said, do you still remember that you did Martial Soul Awakening for the second high school affiliated to the imperial capital? I know, what's wrong? Li Fengxian was angry. He is a famous cultivator who doesn't even attend classes on weekdays. It's a thorn in the school again, and Li Fengxian's talent is extremely high and his strength is also crushing the same level, so the teacher is too lazy to care. In the end, he practiced well, and was pulled over by the student council president Gong Qingyu. If it was someone else, Li Feng would beat him up and go back to continue his practice. But this guy can't, he can't beat it. Gong Qingyu, a junior, is a super genius like Li Fengxian. Even the evildoers of those aristocratic families will be eclipsed in front of the two of them. Although Li Fengxian usually does not hate Gong Qingyu less often, he is convinced in his heart. Do you still remember Yifeng? Gong Qingyu pushed his glasses and asked, looking like a weak scholar. Li Fengxian suddenly came to the spirit. Nonsense, why do you have news about him? The special training camp is closed training. Li Feng wanted to know what happened to this super evildoer 2 days ago. Oh, yes. Gong Qingyu smiled slightly. Yesterday Yifeng killed a 6-star silver leopard. Oh, it's white, what? Li Feng got up with a sudden rush, with a hint of shock in his eyes. Seeing Li Fengxian's expression like this, Gong Qingyu's smile became even brighter. I'm going to be a senior soon, and I don't have time to take care of the student council. You work for 1 year, and when Yifeng is a sophomore, you can throw it to him. How? Where did you get the information? Li Fengxian asked. The special training camp is very strict. In fact, this is mainly to prevent being targeted by soul beasts. There is also the myriad beast religion lurking in the human race. So unless the level is high enough, or the special training camp is over, it will be difficult to find out. I naturally have my channels. Gong Qingyu asked. Yifeng, it's scary. This is the evaluation of being the strongest in Taikyo University. Li Fengxian opened his mouth and laughed. Is this too fast? How long has it been? It's interesting. It's very interesting. No, I have to work hard. Don't be surpassed by Yifeng instead of Zhang Dasheng. Gong Qingyu looked helpless. Do you agree or not? The student union has great rights and benefits. Of course, there are a lot of things to manage, plus the Chaos Secret Realm is about to open, he really doesn't have so much energy. In addition, Zhang Dasheng, Ji Ming of the Ji family, and Zuoqiu Wushwang of the Zuoqiu family have all made breakthroughs recently. If he doesn't try hard, he may be left behind. Is it possible that Yifeng in the secret realm of chaos can catch up? Li Fengxian asked suddenly. If they can catch up, then the group of them will simply meet the gods and kill the gods. Gong Qingyu smiled. What do you think? I don't know, I'm not from the chess pavilion. Li Fengxian patted his butt and left. I'm too lazy to deal with the student union, you can find someone else. Time flies, and 7 days have passed in a blink of an eye. In the past 7 days, Yifeng's use of soul power has reached 21%. In addition, under Wang Tu's careful guidance, Yifeng's compatibility with the time clock and the void sword has also increased a lot. After testing, the compatibility of the dual martial arts reached 25% at the same time. This is already the limit of Yifeng's strength. If you want to improve, you can only improve the realm. Not only Yifeng was satisfied with this result, but Wang Tu also secretly admired it. The last day of the project is the assessment. The assessment will be graded according to the results, and only those who reach the S grade can get the places to go directly to the 3 major universities. This morning, 298 students stood in the gymnasium. There are still 10 minutes before the assessment. The content of the assessment is very simple: battle. Only the strong can qualify. For Yifeng, this assessment was just a passing test. He had already been admitted to Taizheng University in advance. Compared with other people's nervousness, Yifeng seemed very calm. Wang Tu and Qi Chen stood at the front and waited quietly. They are waiting for the big guys to watch this assessment. In a short time, the surrounding space oscillated. Immediately, 8 terrifying breaths came side by side from the door. The crowd looked back. These 8 people are Qij Military Counselor Lu Shan, Shenyu Yudu Lianjun Buddha, Taizheng University President Wang Quan, Modu University President Mu Tian, Central South University President Chu Yang, and the heads of the 3 great families. The top 5 of the 8 are king-level powerhouses. And the 3 great family patriarchs are the pinnacles of the great masters. When 8 people came to the gym, everyone felt a lot of pressure. Wang Tu said, "Students, the assessment starts now." Lu Shan and the others did not sit aloft like they did in their previous lives. Instead, find a place to sit cross-legged. Although everyone knew that some big people would watch this assessment, they never expected that there would be so many big figures this year. In previous years, only the principals of the 3 major colleges and the 3 great families participated, but this year even the military staff of Qij and the imperial prisoners of God Prison came. You must know that the representatives of these 2 major forces are usually the existence of Shenlong, who sees the beginning and does not see the end. Not to mention them, even some diamond powerhouses may not be able to see them. However, everyone did not discuss, but was full of fighting spirit. Whether it is the chess pavilion or the divine prison, they are all superpowers. If it can enter their eyes, it is no exaggeration to say that it is a step to the sky. According to the result of yesterday's lottery, number 1 Lu Bo will face no. 127 Kui Yu. Wang Tu said, this time the assessment adopts the mode of 2-to-2 battles. It is not necessary for everyone to decide the winner, but to fight for 1 minute. With the eyesight of the big guys, 1 minute is enough to see everything. So the battle went on quickly. Lu Shanhei's eyes were all on Yifeng. Before Lu Shan and Lian Junfo didn't know about Yifeng, the Chess King and Dharma Venerable later revealed 1 or 2 of the follow-up arrangements. The 2 bosses were shocked and a little puzzled. Why didn't such a person draw over? Although neither Chess Pavilion nor Divine Prison selects high school students, it is not without exception. With Yifeng's talent enough to enter these 2 major forces. However, both the Chess King and the Dharma Venerable were very indifferent to this, and directly pushed Yifeng to the Vermilion Bird faction. This is somewhat surprising. As for the 3 aristocratic families, it is obvious that they have already known the situation for the past 2 weeks. He also looked at Yifeng from time to time. Ji Chen, the head of the Ji family, Zuoqiu Bing, the head of the Zuoqiu family, and Zhang Wuji, the head of the Zhang family, laughed lightly after watching for a while. This little guy is here, I'm afraid a large number of geniuses will be hit. Ji Chen smiled and said, not holding any grudge because Ji Tian was crushed. The three aristocratic families are all loyal ministers and heroes of the human race. They are very happy that a super genius like Yifeng can appear in the human race. It's good to strike, otherwise, one's eyes are higher than the top. Zhang Wuji said indifferently. There is no doubt that the first among peers is already there, it just depends on how far Yifeng can go. The cold-tempered Zhuoqiu Bing said, you mean, he has a chance to surpass Wushuang and the others. Zhuoqiu Wushuang is just 2 years older than Zhuoqiu Han, and the first in the younger generation of Zhuoqiu's family. In terms of talent, Zhuoqiu Wushuang also surpasses Zhuoqiu Han's. And the strength is now a 6-star gold. The 20-year-old golden 6-star is incredible. Who can tell the future? Zhang Wuji seemed to be thinking. Ji Chen subconsciously glanced at Zhang Wuji. You are very optimistic about this little guy. Old man, don't forget that your daughter is already married. Speaking of this, Zhang Wuji has a headache. To be honest, he doesn't like that Wu Sesong very much. But there is no reason to regret the water that is poured out of the words spoken. Before, I thought that Wu Sesong was very talented. Although he couldn't compare to Zhang Dasheng and the others, he was already an extremely powerful existence among the younger generation. But after learning about Yifeng, Zhang Wuji wanted to go back. Of course, it's mainly because my daughter doesn't like Wu Sesong. My daughter didn't like it, and I didn't like it very much either. In addition, there was Yifeng, a monster who was enough to cover up all geniuses. Zhang Wuji's thoughts did change a bit. The 8 bosses chatted in low voices while watching the battle. Soon it was Yifeng's turn. According to yesterday's draw, Yifeng's opponent happened to be Hu Yuru. If it weren't for the fact that the assessment was not based on victory or defeat, Hu Yuru would have simply abstained. Start. After Wang Tu finished speaking, Yifeng and Hu Yuru possessed their martial spirits at the same time. Although everyone knows Yifeng's martial spirit, it's the first time they've seen him. Except for kingship, Wang Quan crossed Erlang's legs and stared at Yifeng with a smile, not knowing what he was thinking. Principal Wang, your school is very lucky. Chu Yang, president of Central South University, said quietly. Mu Tian on the side suddenly asked, Pharaoh, give Yifeng to our school. As a condition, you can choose 10 geniuses. Wang Quan and Chu Yang glanced at Mu Tian at the same time. Immediately, Wang Quan smiled and said, okay, just give me Zhuoqiu Wushuang and Zhang Dasheng. Mu Tian's expression froze as soon as these words came out. These two are the capital and confidence of his Modu University. It is also the grasp of the next chaotic secret realm. Cough, when I didn't say it. Mu Tian is honest. 1 minute later, Yifeng and Zhang Duer withdrew their martial spirits at the same time. Hu Yuru stuck out her pink tongue and said, Yifeng, what if I can't get S? If you can't get S, you will die. Yifeng said with a smile. Hu Yuru suddenly became anxious. You're going to die. Not far away, Zhang Wuji frowned slightly when he saw this scene. Yifeng is so good, it seems that there are already many girls who have secretly promised. For some reason, Zhang Wuji felt a sense of urgency. Seeing his silly daughter, Zhang Wuji suddenly felt a little depressed. At noon, the examination is over. Wang Quan and others already have judgments in their hearts. After the 8 people discussed it for a while, the assessment rating came out. In the end, there were 7 people who got the S grade rating. This number is about the same as in previous years. After seeing the list, some people waved their fists excitedly. Others looked indifferent and seemed to have expected it. And Yifeng, bored and yawned. According to the rules, the following 7 people have the qualifications to go directly to the 3 major universities. Wang Tu said. At the same time, according to the comprehensive performance, the top 3 are also ranked. The first is Yifeng, the second is Zhuo Chouhan, and the third is Ji Tian. Yifeng's eyes lit up when he heard the ranking. Because it means you can get more rewards. Sure enough, Wang Tu said. According to the rules, the first place can receive 800 low-grade soul crystals and a set of low-grade soul energy armor. The second place is 800 low-quality soul crystals. The third place is 600 low-quality soul crystals. Yifeng's eyes flickered. He made a fortune. 800 low-grade soul crystals is 800,000, that is 8,000 martial soul points. Big money. However, this is nothing, the lower grade soul energy armor is more rare, and the price is immeasurable. This is the soul energy equipment newly developed by mankind, and it has not yet been put into commercial use. Its defensive power is determined by the user's strength, and it can defend against the full strength strike of the Golden Peak. For Yifeng, this is equivalent to an extra life-saving trump card. In the future, if you go to the wild to hunt soul beasts, the soul energy armor can play a great role. Coupled with the order to suppress the prison given by the Dharma Venerable, it is perfect. After receiving the reward, Yifeng happily put on the soul energy armor. Soul energy armor is quite magical, and its weight is similar to that of ordinary shirts. And there are 3 soul cores embedded in it. These soul cores are processed by special means and can be activated when the master is injured. On weekdays, the soul power in it will not be consumed. After the assessment, everyone's trip to the special training camp came to an end. In the dormitory, Yifeng and others began to organize their belongings. After lunch, they will return to their cities under the leadership of their respective principals. When he thought that he would usher in a super explosive period next, Yifeng was extremely looking forward to it. Zhang Duer's dormitory. Zhang Wuji said with emotion, "Duer, it's not bad. Although they didn't get the top 3 in this ranking, their Zhang family's martial spirit was not known for its combat power. So Zhang Wuji is not surprised." Zhang Duer heard the words and said, "Dad, if you are here to persuade me, then you should give up your mind." Zhang Wuji was instantly happy. "Duer, I thought about it, that kid Wu Sisong is really not suitable for you." Zhang Duer suddenly looked at Zhang Wuji as soon as she said this. A moment of vigilance. Zhang Wuji is good at everything, but it's too old-fashioned and takes too much face. "What's the matter today? What do you want?" Zhang Duer asked. "Cough, this marriage is not impossible to cancel." Zhang Wuji said, "As long as you want to do it. It's a big deal to apologize to Wu Zhonglin afterwards. Well, it's a bit of a hassle though." However, Zhang Wuji decided to cancel the engagement after considering many parties. This time, Zhang Duer was stunned. After a while, Zhang Duer said, "Dad, are you enlightened?" "How to speak?" Zhang Wuji said angrily. "Wu Sisong is fine, but Dad has found a new person for you." As soon as this statement came out, Zhang Duer rolled her eyes wildly. "I knew it wasn't such a good thing. Dad, I said it all, I don't think about it now, why do you keep worrying about it?" Zhang Duer said angrily. Zhang Wuji sighed secretly when he heard the words. To be honest, he didn't really think about it, but the current situation of the human race was not very good. Maybe it won't be long before these great masters will go to the Shira world. If you can't come out alive, then it's absolutely unnecessary to arrange a future for your own children. It's just that this matter is a top secret, and no one knows about it except the high-level Terran and these very trustworthy grandmasters. Zhang Wuji didn't plan to reveal it either. "Duer, this person is more talented and more suitable." Zhang Wuji said. "If you want, Dad will pull down this face and talk to that kid." "No," Zhang Duer said decisively, "I don't want anyone. Dad, my focus now is on cultivation. I will consider this matter myself. Don't worry about it." From Zhang Duer's point of view, Zhang Wuji might be looking at people from the other 2 great families. And those who meet this qualification are either Zhuoqiu Wushwang or Ji Ming. Only their status can crush Wu Sisong. Duer, actually, forget it. Zhang Wuji wanted to reveal this secret, but he finally held back. You have been classmates for half a month anyway, so you should all be familiar with it. Zhang Wuji said to himself. In addition, that kid's talent is unparalleled in the past and present, with him in the future, you will be safe and sound. Classmate. Zhang Duer was stunned. Immediately, "I don't know if I thought of something. Dad, who are you talking about?" "Oh, it's Yifeng, the first place in this assessment." Zhang Wuji said. "You are both a high school, and now you have the opportunity to get a helicopter. If you are also in Beijing University, you can get the moon first." After hearing that it was Yifeng, Zhang Duer's expression instantly became extremely exciting. "Duer, you and Yifeng are both classmates, so you should know the bottom line, right?" If Yifeng was here, he would definitely wave his hand humbly and say no, Duer's depth cannot accommodate the length of the younger generation. I don't need to talk about his talent. I can tell you that you don't want to, but the Ji family and Zuaochou's family are willing. And as far as I know, there are quite a few people who are paying Yi Feng's attention. Wu Sisong, you can disagree, but Yi Feng, you have to have dim sum. Anyway, you have to decide for the next 2 years. This is my bottom line, understand? Zhang Wuji said a lot to himself. Zhang Duer's expression became more and more strange. Before, she was looking for Yi Feng specially, hoping that Yi Feng could help her convince Zhang Wuji. She knew how old-fashioned her father was, so even if Yi Feng helped Zhang Duer, it wouldn't matter. She even planned to tell her father that Fei Yi Feng would not marry. However, the prepared remarks were of no use. Even without Yi Feng coming out in person, Dad's attitude completely changed. Why, you don't agree? Seeing Zhang Duer not speaking, Zhang Wuji couldn't help but said solemnly, Duer, you still don't know many things. It's not just me, everyone is arranging. What this means, Dad can't tell you, but you must know that time is running out. Don't look at us as the 3 major families, but even we may not be able to protect ourselves. This is the limit Zhang Wuji can say. Dad. You, me. Zhang Duer didn't know what to say for a while. After thinking about it, he said, Dad, I have been looking for Yi Feng before. What? Zhang Wuji was stunned. Zhang Duer did not hide it, and briefly explained the previous matter. Ha ha ha, good daughter, good daughter. Zhang Wuji happily closed his mouth. My daughter is amazing, she is much more promising than the great sage. Rest assured, completely at ease. Dad, what about me? This matter is completely over, I will tell Wu Zhonglin in person. Zhang Wuji was very happy. Although Wu Zhonglin is also a great master, he is also the chairman of Soul Crystal Mining Group. But Zhang Wuji is the pinnacle of the great master. The influence of his Zhang Jialun is definitely higher than that of Soul Crystal Mining Group. In his capacity, if he sincerely apologizes and then gives some compensation, that old boy from Wu Zhonglin will not refuse. After all, Wu Zhonglin is also looking for a way back for his son. Once everyone goes to the Shira world, the marriage between the Wu family and the Zhang family is a guarantee. The big deal is that the alliance with the Wu family will continue, nothing more. The more Zhang Wuji thought about it, the happier he became. Daughter, you have to hurry up with this Yi Feng, otherwise you won't even be able to drink the soup. If Yi Feng would say madly here, if you can drink it, you will have saved a lot. Zhang Duer stuck out her pink tongue and didn't speak. To be honest, although she knew that Yi Feng was talented, she couldn't say she liked it. For so many years, Zhang Duer's mind has been cultivating, and she really hasn't considered the matter of men and women. But it's not easy to tell Zhang Wuji this, otherwise, his father would probably go crazy. By the way, Dad, I promised to help Yi Feng get a soul ring. Zhang Duer said suddenly. Yi Feng's 2 spirits are too rare to even find the corresponding spirit beasts. This is as a reward. Although Zhang Duer felt that the matter had been resolved and did not let Yi Feng come forward, it was Yi Feng who helped him solve a problem after all. Well, it's really troublesome. Zhang Wuji pondered for a long time. Time and space are very rare. There should be in the Asura world, but it's too dangerous there, and being alone is absolutely lifeless. But since you have promised, you should keep your promise. Zhang Wuji showed a bright smile. Duer, you did a good job. I want to wait for us to help him find the soul ring. Yi Feng's favor for you will be stronger. Zhang Duer laughed. The father's mind was all about his feelings. In the afternoon, the group led by Feng Mangong boarded the fighter plane. Wang Tu was in the office, and he was heartbroken. Boss Hong lost, and Yi Feng also ran away. If it weren't for the fear of being beaten to death by Hong Zhen, he really wanted to say something to you, it's really useless. 8 hours later, the fighter plane landed at Tejing Airport on time. There were no surprises along the way. Of course, Feng Mangong wouldn't tell Yi Feng, it was all because Wang Quan was secretly guarding him. Although the special training camp is confidential, who can guarantee that the 10,000 Beasts religion will not get the news? And after today, Yi Feng's safety issues don't need to worry for the time being, because Wang Quan will be responsible. After arriving at the second affiliated middle school of Dijing, everyone performed well this time. Let's go. Feng Mangong said with a smile. Except Yifeng, Lin Hao, and Zhang Duoer, don't let everyone else relax, and strive to be able to enter the Jingjing University. All three of Yifeng got an S rating. Others can only enter Taikyo University through the college entrance examination. Fortunately, Huyuru is strong and able to move up steadily, but Zhouyu and others need a certain amount of effort. Yifeng, you stay. The wind was full of bows and set again. After everyone left, Feng Mangong led Yifeng to the office. Wang Quan sat on the sofa and seemed to have been waiting for a long time. Principal Wang, Yifeng was a little surprised. Sit all. Wang Quan looked at Yifeng with a smile. Yifeng, are you interested in being my student? But all the students of Taikyo University are considered to be students of royal power. And the meaning of Wang Quan is obviously not an ordinary student. This is really good. Yifeng raised his brows. As far as Yifeng knows, students at their level are not easy to accept. As a result, the energy is limited, and there are too many students to give all-round guidance. Second, their requirements are also extremely high, and ordinary geniuses are not attractive at all. Hello, teacher. Yifeng got up and respectfully gave a student salute. The smile on Wang Quan's face suddenly became extremely bright. Good boy, Wang Quan said. The teacher accepted a total of 4 students, and you are the 5th. Since you regard me as a teacher, then I, as a teacher, must have a meeting ceremony. Wang Quan said and grabbed it in Yifeng's expectation. Immediately, 2 crystal clear jade appeared in his hand. This stone Yifeng is familiar with, it is the real stone of the spirit ring that can increase the life of the spirit ring. Feng Mangong also mentioned it before when he found out that his spirit ring had become 1,000 years old. It is said that this thing is worth hundreds of millions at auction. In other words, Wang Quan's face-to-face gift is 200 million. Although this thing is rare, it is of little use to me. Wang Quan said, it happens that I still have 2 left, so I will give them to you. It's not very useful, but it's just the words of kingship. His first and second spirit rings were only in 2000, and even the super powerful kings such as Wang Quan were extremely attractive. And the kingship really only has these 2 pieces left. This thing is only found in very few places in the Asura world, and it is very precious. Feng Mangong glanced at Yifeng with some envy, and at the same time muttered in his heart, shouldn't the previous one also be given by Principal Wang? Thank you, teacher. Yifeng was not hypocritical, and bowed again after accepting it. Wang Quan said with a smile, although I am your teacher, I can't teach you during this time. This way, after the college entrance examination, you can live in the student dormitory of Taikyo University. There, the people of the 10,000 Beast sect dare not touch you. In addition, I have given you permission to use the corresponding training facilities in the university. I have to say that I am very concerned about Yifeng's royal power. Not only the safety of Yifeng, but also the cultivation related. As the 3 top universities, the spirit room of Taijing University is excellent. In addition to the martial arts room, there are some things that the outside world does not have. Thank you, teacher. I don't have any requirements for you. Just improve your actual combat ability during the summer vacation. These universities have them. Wang Quan said. Well, it would be better if the strength can be improved further. Yifeng felt a little embarrassed about this line of kingship. He actually wanted Yifeng to grow faster. But thinking that Yifeng is now a 6-star bronze, this speed is already extremely fast. So I casually mentioned it without any hope. After Wang Quan left, Yifeng also returned to his student dormitory. There are 3 days left before the college entrance examination. Yifeng does not need to refer to the college entrance examination, so naturally he does not need to worry about it. In the dormitory, Yifeng looked at the system storage space and laughed. 3 real martial soul stones, who are they all for? Yifeng was a little hesitant. After thinking about it, I decided to add it all to the time freezing. This soul skill is not only a super strong control, but also a life-saving skill. If you encounter an opponent that you can't kill, you can take the opportunity to escape for a while. Well, Yifeng still attaches great importance to Xiaoming. With a thought, time freezes and the upgrade is completed. What? When Yifeng saw the panel that appeared, he was stunned. The column of time mysterious turtle has disappeared. The 4 words of the mysterious turtle of time are gone, and even the 4 words of time freezing are gone. Yi Feng was startled. Shouldn't the age of the spirit ring be too long to bear? Time freeze is super strong control. He likes this soul skill very much. It's careless. Yi Feng got up a little annoyed. Every soul beast has a limit. Some soul beasts are only 100 years in their lives. This limit is related to its type, bloodline, etc. Just like spirit masters have different talents and spirits, these all determine how far you can go in the future. A person with an innate soul power of 1, no matter how hard he works, no matter how much resources he consumes, it will be difficult for him to break through bronze. Could it be that when the limit of the time mysterious turtle is reached, the system will automatically erase it? Thinking of this, Yi Feng suddenly had a headache. Suddenly, his pupils shrank. The lost row is back. Host: Yi Feng. Realm: Bronze 6 stars. Martial Soul: Void God Sword. Soul Ring: 1. Void Crocodile, 500 years, Space Blade. Martial Soul, Time Clock. Soul Ring: 1. Time Tortoise, 2800, Eternal Barrier. Martial Soul Point, 13,530. Yi Feng quickly sensed it. Immediately, he trembled with excitement. Amazing. It's awesome. The Time Sacred Turtle is an upgraded version of the Time Mysterious Turtle. The two are homologous, but the former has a higher bloodline strength. The Eternal Barrier is also an enhanced version of Time Freezing. According to the feedback from Yi Feng, the Eternal Barrier can affect the time within 50 meters. And, the goals are unlimited. In other words, as long as they are within 50 meters of Yi Feng's body, no matter how many people will be affected by the Eternal Barrier. This is much more powerful than the freezing of time. Time freeze can only affect 6 at most, and the range is too small. And there is no problem with the number of eternal enchantments, and a distance of 50 meters is enough. In addition, Yi Feng also got a message. The upper limit of this eternal enchantment is extremely high. No, it should be said that the upper limit of the Holy Tortoise of Time is extremely high. According to the information given by the system, the Holy Tortoise of Time can be as short as 1,000 years or as long as 100,000 years. The function of the system is really good. Yi Feng sighed with emotion. This is not a simple upgrade on the original basis, but an improvement from the beginning to the end. In that case, let's start retreating now. Yi Feng murmured. He already has his own arrangements for the 1.5-month summer vacation. First break through to the bronze great perfection, and then absorb the soul ring of the dead wolf to raise it to 1 silver star. Then try to absorb the spirit bone attached to the void dragon eagle. At that time, Yi Feng's combat power will usher in a big breakthrough. Coupled with the soul energy armor and prison suppression order, Yi Feng's self-protection ability will also be greatly improved. In 1.5 months, it will be the day when I leave the mountain. Yi Feng clenched his fists and smiled. He is now worried about the myriad beasts' religion, and he is worried that he will be attacked by some jealous people with ulterior motives. But after a month and a half, these hidden threats will be greatly reduced. After all, no one could have imagined how much Yi Feng could improve in a month and a half. After making a decision, Yi Feng intends to take advantage of these few days to lay the foundation. The compatibility of his 2 martial spirits has reached the limit, but the use of spirit power can continue to improve. In addition, the secret method of controlling the soul that Wang Tu taught him has not yet started. According to what Wang Tu said, once you get started, the use of soul power will increase by at least 10%. Using 31% of the soul power to use the soul skill will directly save 31% of the soul power consumption. A few times down is equivalent to releasing an additional soul skill. Yi Feng's talent is undeniable, but the start in this area is relatively weak. Therefore, Yi Feng must improve the weak links as much as possible, so that he has no shortcomings. At the same time, Dijing affiliated No. 1 middle school. When GTN and the others returned to school, they immediately ushered in the attention of many students. Everyone surrounded GTN and other 10 Tianzhao groups and chatted. GTN frowned slightly and was a little unhappy. The surrounding students quickly made way with awe. Besides GTN, several students also left. Yi Feng's appearance made them feel a lot of pressure. Especially those who didn't get the S rating, they can't wait to break it into 2 halves in 1 second. So there is no point in chatting with these people. Some people left, some people didn't. Chen Biao was stopped by some familiar students. Brother Biao, Brother Tian, why don't they seem very happy? Yes, how is your special training camp this time, is there any genius? Zhang Taidan, are you talking about people? Brother Biao Tian, aren't they geniuses? Ah, ba, that's not what I meant, Brother Biao. Everyone, you said it one by one. Chen Biao thought about it and said, there is really a very powerful person in this special training camp. A very powerful person. Everyone looked suspicious. Immediately someone said, could it be the Zhuoqiu family? Zhuo Chohan, is that him, Brother Biao? Someone else said, my cousin is in the magic capital. I heard that this Zhuo Chohan is the first of the younger generation of the Zhuo family, and has the opportunity to surpass his eldest brother. Chen Biao shook his head and said with a smile, no, it's from the second middle school affiliated to Imperial Capital. Affiliated second middle school. Everyone looked puzzled. To be honest, everyone didn't take the second middle school seriously. After all, I was under pressure from the number 1 middle school all the year round, so I heard that the students from the number 2 middle school had an inexplicable sense of superiority. Well, it's a unprecedented existence. Chen Biao's invincible appearance appeared in Yi Feng's mind, and he said with both longing and respect, his name is Yi Feng, I think even Brother Tian and the others will be suppressed and unable to lift their heads in the future, right? Who is Yi Feng? Everyone's eyes widened. Haven't heard of this name before. Just when everyone was going to continue pestering Chen Biao said impatiently, don't worry, get out of the way and I have to practice. If you want to inquire about it, go to the official website, and it should be released now. As soon as this statement came out, everyone quickly turned on the phone and couldn't wait to see it. Seeing this, everyone's expressions changed. On the second day, Yi Feng came to Taikyo University under the leadership of Feng Mangong. Feng Mangong sighed, Yi Feng, from today onwards, you are considered a college student. As Yi Feng's high school principal, Feng Mangong was still filled with emotion. In fact, he felt a little helpless, a little decadent. For a man like Yi Feng, his future achievements are unimaginable. However, as the principal, Feng Mangong could not give any help. Maybe even in 1 or 2 years Yi Feng will surpass himself. His own student, but he couldn't teach him anything, which made Feng Mangong feel that he was a failure. Sensing Feng Mangong's mood, Yi Feng said with concern, Headmaster, are you all right? It's okay, I'm going to start retreating after the college entrance examination. Feng Mangong put away his emotions and smiled and said, you kids are all good, I have no regrets as an old guy. He wants to break through as soon as possible and make himself as strong as possible. Only in this way can we buy time for Yi Feng and the others. But although I'm in retreat, you can contact me if you have anything. Feng Mangong said again. Yi Feng's heart warmed. Immediately under the leadership of Feng Mangong, Yi Feng received the key to his dormitory. Taikyo University is a 2-person dormitory. And now the freshman students have just had their summer vacation, so the dormitory is empty. Yi Feng can enjoy the single room for a while. After entering the dormitory, Feng Mangong took out a card and said, Yi Feng, this is your student ID. Chapter 31. Although it hasn't been officially reported yet, Principal Wang has already asked me to fix it for you. The relevant introduction and facilities of Taikyo University, the chip on the student ID card is all there. If there is anything you don't understand, you can ask the people in the Academic Affairs office, and they will know everything. Yi Feng took the student ID and thanked him again and again. If that's the case, I'll go back. Feng Mangong glanced at Yi Feng again and said with a smile, young man, go ahead. As he spoke, he disappeared into a gust of wind. Thanks. Yi Feng said silently in his heart. During this period of time, he is still very grateful to Feng Mangong. I think it will take time. If you can help the principal, please help. 2 days later, the college entrance examination, which attracted the attention of the entire human race, was officially opened. But in addition, a more sensational news than the college entrance examination spread. Dijing, Ji family. Ji's family is located in the Dongcheng district of Dijing, which is an endless villa area. This villa area is where the Ji family lives. At this moment, in the central area of the villa area, in a 4-story villa. GTN rarely went home for a meal. He has been directly promoted to the imperial capital, so he does not need to take the college entrance examination. There were not many people at the dinner table, except for GTN's parents. There was only one 4-year-old girl. This is GTN's younger sister, Ji Xiaoxiao. Dad, where's my big brother? GTN asked while eating. Ji Chen wore a dark blue tang suit and said lightly, I don't know. Ji Ming had left the customs yesterday, and it stands to reason that he should have come to eat this time. GTN didn't speak. He heard his elder brother say that the secret realm of chaos is about to open, so this time was very hard. Just as he was thinking about it, a strong young man came out of the door. The young man is tall and slender, with a rebellious look on his brows. This is GTN's eldest brother, Ji Ming. Xiaoshan, tell me about Yi Feng. Ji Ming sat down next to GTN and said impatiently, is that kid really that powerful? Yesterday, he heard the news from Yi Feng as soon as he left the customs. The main reason is that it is too powerful, and everyone knows it. The discussion about Yi Feng on the internet was boiling to the extreme. What Yi Feng's identity, who is Yi Feng's disciple, etc. abound. And Ji Ming is still very confident in his little brother. In addition, Zuo Chu Wushwang's younger brother Zuo Chu Han is also a ruthless character. These two are actually no match for Yi Feng. Well, that's awesome. GTN gloated a little and said, brother, your reputation as a genius is going to be lost. Ji Ming frowned. It's useless to talk about it, tell the big brother about his performance in the special training camp. Ji Chen also showed an expression of listening, and he was extremely optimistic about Yi Feng's younger generation. I also wanted to win over, but my daughter is too young. Thinking of this, Ji Chen looked at the two sons with a lot of resentment. This Yi Feng, I'm afraid it will be cheaper for the Zhang family and the Zuoqiu family. GTN organized the language and told his father and brother everything he knew during the special training camp. After a while, that's it. During this time, GTN also wanted to understand that if Yi Feng was on the top of the mountain, then he was a climber. It is to try to go hand in hand with Yi Feng. It's interesting. Ji Ming straightened his waist and cracked his mouth and smiled. It's a pity that we started too late, otherwise we would have been able to compete. This made Ji Ming secretly regretful. He is a super genius of today's younger generation, and together with Gong Qingyu, Zuoqiu Wushwang and Zhang Dasheng, he has become the 4 great talents of the human race. Even Li Fengxian, who is in the limelight, is much more immature than the 4 of them. Whether it is the younger generation today or the powerhouses of the older generation, they are very optimistic about Ji Ming. Some people even sighed that in the future, the human race may have 4 new pillars. Although it is just a joke, it can be seen how terrifying the talents of the 4 Ji Ming are. This is an existence that even GTN admires. Xiaoshan, you should tell me about the life-saving grace as soon as possible. Ji Chen looked reproachful. GTN smiled bitterly. You didn't ask. Ji Chen said, well, I'd like to invite him to sit at home sometime. I want to thank him personally. As soon as these words came out, Ji Ming was not surprised, but GTN suddenly turned back to his father. Ji Chen was too lazy to pay attention to this guy, and ate food on his own. This is also a rare gathering of the father and son, so Ji Chen, who is the great master, also has a rare meal. He naturally has his own ideas. That old guy Zhang Wuji will definitely win over Yi Feng. Since I don't have a suitable daughter, I should release some kindness. What's more, the life-saving grace is a great grace, and the owner of the family needs to express his feelings and reason. Ji Ming on the side was still asking about Yi Feng. At the end of the question, GTN became impatient. Brother, how did you become a mother-in-law? Ji Ming split his mouth and rubbed GTN's hair. I'm glad to see you, brother. Ji Ming said hee. Also, this kid is my junior. As a senior, I naturally have to care about it. GTN was stunned when he said this. Immediately, he frowned slightly. Brother, Yi Feng started too late, don't sit too much. He knows his elder brother's temper. This guy is an absolute martial artist. How can am I like that? Ji Ming saw that his father's eyes were not very good looking and serious. The day has already begun to pick in my mind. At the same time, Qinzhou Fancheng. In a magnificent underground palace, 10 black robes with distant breadths and indistinguishable depths gathered together. No one knows that this is the headquarters of the 10,000 Beast sect. In front of the 10 black robes sat a purple-robed man wearing a ghost mask. This is Ziming, one of the 7 guardians of the 10,000 Beast religion. The 7 guardians of the 10,000 Beast religion are in charge of the entire 10,000 Beast religion. They are the spiritual pillars of the 10,000 beasts. Where the 7 guardians are, the myriad beasts religion is there. The 7 guardians are immortal, and the teaching of all beasts will live forever. It's just that the face of this high-ranking Dharma protector is a little unsightly. He also saw Yi Fang's affairs on the internet. After that, Anzi from the 10,000 Beast sect investigated more detailed information. I didn't expect that there was such a character in the human race. Ziming looked around the audience, and the only pair of eyes that was exposed could not see happiness or anger. This is a pair of eyes without the slightest emotion. Just looking at it makes me shudder. After listening to Ziming's words, the 10 rudder masters below shuddered and immediately knelt on the ground. In particular, Zhao Bombing, the helmsman of the Imperial Capital Branch, broke down in cold sweat. He is in charge of the Imperial Capital area, and Yifeng is from the Imperial Capital. This is okay, but the 2 assassinations under his command all failed. Zhou Ping once, Yan Zan the second time. Zhou Ping belonged to him who was good at making ideas that time, but he planned it himself the second time. I thought it was foolproof, but who would have thought that the time clock was so strong? Zhao Bombing, while secretly slandering, Ziming said, "This matter is your dereliction of duty." Zhao Bombing was trembling and his eyes were terrified. He, who is precious as the pinnacle of diamonds, was about to cry in fear at this moment. But, this seat gives you a chance to atone for your sins. Ziming's next sentence made Zhao Bombing instantly burst into hope. He knows the methods of the myriad beast sect, and he also knows what he will face if it is unfavorable as a helmsman. My subordinate is grateful for the grace of protecting the law not to kill. Zhao Bombing bowed respectfully. Hey, don't miss out this time. Ziming said again. Everyone, the beast god is about to recover. What? The 10 sub-rudder masters raised their heads fiercely, and were immediately ecstatic. The beast god is the totem and spiritual belief of one beast religion. The 7 guardians had mentioned at the beginning of the establishment of the 10,000 beast religion that one of the missions of the 10,000 beast religion was to help the beast gods recover. Now, that goal has finally been achieved. Ziming's expression was a little relaxed. Zhao Bombing, this is a good opportunity for you to make merit. Congratulate the beast god with the blood of the first pride of the human race. Zhao Bombing looked pious. Thank you, Lord Dharma Protector. June 9th. The high-profile college entrance examination has officially come to an end. And Yifeng started his own retreat journey. Lock the dormitory door. System, add some points. Yifeng said with excitement. After a while, Yifeng's body trembled. Immediately, a huge amount of soul power came out almost uncontrollably. The next moment, all these soul powers returned to the body. Yifeng's eyes flickered, and he lightly clenched his fist and felt full of infinite power. After consuming 10,500 spirit points, Yifeng officially became a bronze 9-star spirit master. If the kingship and the others are here, they will definitely be shocked. Breakthrough from 6 stars to 9 stars in an instant. This kind of thing is unheard of. It took a while for Yifeng to fully adapt to his own strength. Bronze 9 stars is not the point. Yifeng also needs to elevate himself to the bronze Zochan. In this process, you cannot use martial soul points to improve. After pondering for a moment, Yifeng took out 10 crystal clear elixir from the storage space. This is a special elixir called Poerden. Poerden has only one effect, to improve the compatibility of martial arts. This elixir can only be used at bronze 9 stars, and it has no effect when used before. From bronze 9 stars to bronze great perfection, what is needed is not soul power, but the fit of martial souls. Previously, Yifeng's martial spirit fit had reached 25%. Now that the strength has improved by leaps and bounds, the upper limit of the fit has been raised to 40%. According to Wang Tu, once all spirit masters enter the grandmaster level, their compatibility will reach 100%. Therefore, the master level can fully exert the power of martial arts. Po Erden is not expensive, only 2,000 yuan per piece. 10 should be enough, Yi Feng murmured. Then just swallow one. It takes a certain amount of time to absorb the power of Porden. Then there is the conversion. Yi Feng estimates that if things go well, it will take about 3 or 4 days. The reason why Yi Feng felt that it would take 3 or 4 days was because his 2 martial spirits were too strong. A normal soul master may be enough for 1 day. But Yi Feng's situation is hard to say. During the special training camp, Wang Tu analyzed that Yi Feng should take twice as long as a normal soul master. After the first Po Erden was taken, a wave of primitive soul power instantly spread throughout the internal organs. Immediately Yi Feng felt a strong burning sensation. Under normal circumstances, it takes a step-by-step process to improve the compatibility of martial arts. Just like the various training Yi Feng experienced during the special training camp. There is no shortcut at this time, it depends on who is more diligent. And there is a shortcut from 9 stars to the great perfection, and this shortcut is Po Erden. But since it is a shortcut, it has to bear the corresponding price. Taking Porden will cause a large load and certain damage to the body. This process is rather painful. The pain gradually became stronger within 10 minutes after taking the medicine pill. Yi Feng felt as if his internal organs had been burned out. In addition, the soul power in the body is also boiling like boiling water. Time passed little by little. After half an hour, the pain disappeared. Yi Feng knew that Po Erden's power had been completely absorbed. The next step is the conversion process. This process is relatively easy, but time-consuming. Under the induction of Yi Feng, the original soul power that belonged to Po Erden quickly wrapped the sword of nothingness like mud. This is his first martial soul, so Po Erden's power first begins with the sword of nothingness. When the void god blade was wrapped, Po Erden began to exert force. As if it were about to penetrate the sword of nothingness, endless power kept pouring in. It feels like waves hitting the beach. It's just that the void god saber is the first weapon after all, and after several hits, the void god saber remains motionless. Yi Feng was a little helpless. For him, this is the only flaw of the 2 top martial arts, and it is difficult to advance. When he just woke up, he was full of soul power, and he didn't have any requirements for the compatibility of martial arts, so he just skipped it. But starting from the bronze great perfection, every subsequent realm has to be experienced again. It doesn't feel good. Ordinary spirit masters, the first broken Erden is basically transformed. But when he arrived at Yi Feng's place, Po Erden was like tickling, not even a trace of power penetrated. Yi Feng had anticipated this situation before, so he specially prepared 10 Pordens. 10 pieces were used to break through to the bronze great perfection. Yi Feng broke another record. As far as Yi Feng knows, among the more famous powerhouses, the most have only used 3 pieces. This has surprised many people. A full 10 hours passed. With Po Erden's efforts, the sword of nothingness was finally beaten. Yi Feng almost cried with joy when Po Erden's power penetrated. Not easy. But then Yi Feng thought of the time clock and his expression was stagnant. Soon the power of the first Porden was completely used up. Yi Feng sensed it, and the martial soul fit of the void god blade increased from 25% to 30%. Knew it. 1 increases by 5%, to 40% that is 3. The time clock is stronger and consumes more. Looking at this, 10 are really hanging. Yi Feng couldn't help but have a big head. Immediately start taking the second pill. 2 days later, Mad is finally done. The naked Yi Feng let out a long breath. After consuming 3 Porden, the fit between Yi Feng and the void god reached the limit of 40%. And the next step is the hard bone of the time clock. 7. Yi Feng said to take the next one. It takes longer to increase the strength of the time clock. 17 hours later, Yi Feng, who was covered in water, wiped off the sweat from his body. Ignoring the stinging body, I quickly sensed it. Only 2%. Yi Feng's voice became sharp. This void god sword still has 5, and the time god clock has only increased by 2%. This is Po Erden. If the silver and even the golden perfection, the amount of money consumed will not dare to imagine. It should be 1 more. Yi Feng had a big head. After thinking for a while, Yi Feng put on his clothes and pants and went out. Taikyo University has a special place to buy and sell medicine pills. 10 minutes later, Yi Feng returned to the dormitory and took out 5 po-erden from the storage bracelet. Just in case, Yi Feng prepared 4 more. Then Yi Feng put on more clothes and pants. Not to liberate nature, but to sweat a lot during consumption. It's better to take it off than to get wet. The second portion also took 17 hours. Immediately, the third and fourth. It has been 5 days since Yi Feng started to retreat. At this time, the fit of the time clock has increased to 33%, leaving 7%. Although painful, it is still very efficient. It is said that if you don't take the medicine pill, it will take 5 or 6 days to improve the fit by 1%. This is still an ordinary soul master, and I don't know much about people like Yi Feng. 9 stars at each stage to Dzogchen is an arduous journey. Even in the later stage, the great perfection and the 9 stars can no longer be regarded as the same realm. In the dormitory, except for Yi Feng's occasional low roar, it seemed extremely quiet. The huge Taikyo University has also become much calmer because many first-year students are on vacation. The 6th day of Yi Feng's retreat. Taikyo University Student Union. Gong Qingyu, Ji Ming and Li Fengxian were sitting on the sofa. These 3 should be said to be the strongest 3 in Taikyo University. Ji Ming sat lazily, and Li Fengxian simply lay down and put his legs on Gong Qingyu's thighs. Gong Qingyu's sitting posture is the most correct and meticulous. You two, what are you doing here if you don't retreat well? Gong Qingyu said helplessly. Qingyu, Xiao Li and I plan to go to the Shira world. I don't care, but Xiao Li thinks about you going together is more reassuring. Ji Ming yawned. Originally, based on his relationship with Gong Qingyu, he should have called Lao Gong. It's just that these 2 words are really irritating to the eyes, so I can't say them out. Li Fengxian gave Ji Ming a punch. Where is Laozi so small? I just want to take advantage of me. Ji Ming rolled his eyes. You are younger than me. Okay, stop arguing. Gong Qingyu put down the pen in his hand and said, can you two call the great sage or Wushwang? The entrance to the Shira world is at the imperial capital. And the secret realm of chaos will open in 2 months, so several people plan to go to the Shira realm. Of course, with their strength, they can only go to the outermost periphery. Although the outermost periphery is equally dangerous, there are many benefits. If you can improve it, go to the secret realm of chaos to have a better grasp. After all, those 2 guys aren't from our school, you're my peace of mind. Li Fengxian said. Why are you stressed? Gong Qingyu took off the golden glasses and asked with a smile, I have to admit, that Yi Feng is really powerful, and you have a sense of urgency even before the official report. Li Fengxian was silent for a second. If there is no pressure, it is a lie. He originally thought that it would take at least half a year for Yi Feng to reach the silver level, or even longer. After all, he started 2 years later than everyone else. But who knew that this kid could kill 6 silver stars in less than half a month? Who can do this without pressure? Although Li Fengxian has absolute confidence, Yi Feng can't surpass himself in 4 years of university. But getting closer to yourself should have hope. Gong Qingyu and Ji Ming looked at each other and saw a hint of surprise in each other's eyes. This Li Fengxian has always been the second child of heaven and earth, even if he has been repaired several times by them, this attitude is still the same. Can't think of a time when he is also convinced. Stop talking nonsense, are you going or not? Li Fengxian asked with Erlang's legs crossed. Gong Qingyu put down her gold-rimmed eyes, of course I went. As soon as these words came out, Ji Ming and Li Fengxian both breathed a sigh of relief. Although they were confident, Gong Qingyu felt at ease in his heart. For nothing else, the main Gong Qingyu's spirit is a super defensive spirit. In other words, this guy is a meat shield. Someone helps you fight damage in front of you, who doesn't like this? By the way, do you know what that guy Yi Feng is doing? Ji Ming suddenly asked. I wanted to find him 2 days ago, but this guy seems to be missing. Li Fengxian and Gong Qingyu looked at each other, and the latter said, it seems that he is already in the freshman dormitory, right? Where? Li Fengxian and Ji Ming asked at the same time. The former wanted to meet this guy. After all, he was awakened under his own hands, so he had a certain connection. The latter just wanted to test it out, and by the way invited the other party to Ji's house. I'm not from Kij, so it's impossible to know everything. Gong Qingyu rolled his eyes. I knew you were unreliable. Ji Ming and Li Fengxian got up and left at the same time. Before I knew it, another 2 days passed. When the last portion was digested, Yi Feng's body lightened. The time around them seemed to slow for a moment. This was because Yi Feng unconsciously affected the surrounding time after the martial soul fit increased. It's complete. Yi Feng opened his mouth and laughed. 7 full days have passed since he retreated to the present. It took 7 days to reach the great perfection with 9 bronze stars, which is an incredible record. Even Gong Qingyu and the others have to be ashamed. Yi Feng felt a little and nodded secretly. The classes in the special training camp were really good. After the martial soul fit was raised to the limit of 40%, Yi Feng even felt that his body was much lighter. In addition, his understanding of the god of nothingness and the god of time has also increased a lot. After all, it is the top-level martial arts, and even the owner of Yi Feng can't penetrate too much into its profound mystery. Next, it's time to absorb the soul ring of the dead ghost wolf. Yi Feng's eyes were a little hot. Death and withering is a powerful soul skill that can control the opponent's life. Aside from its terrifying power, the effect of that rapid flow of life is absolutely hopeless. Yi Feng has an intuition. Even if he becomes stronger in the future, or even becomes a great master, this death and withering is a big killer move. Just when Yi Feng was going to take a bath first. Squeak. The dormitory door opened directly. Yi Feng, are you there? Immediately, Zhang Duoer, who was wearing shorts and showing her long white legs, showed her little head curiously. She knocked on the door several times just now, and then found that the door was unlocked and came in directly. As a result, Zhang Duoer was blinded the next moment. Yi Feng didn't even have any clothes on. Also, there is sweat on his face. What? The next moment, Zhang Duoer screamed and her face flushed and slammed the door shut. Puff, puff. Zhang Duoer blushed and clapped her hands on her chest, feeling as if her heart was about to jump out. Yi Feng in the dormitory was stunned. Did I not lock the door? Am I not locked? Wrong. Then I went out to buy Erden again, and it didn't seem to be locked that time. Forehead. Yi Feng hung the big baby messy in the wind. Outside the door, Zhang Duoer felt that the image in her mind could not be taken away. A naked person, still sweating hot. My God, how could someone be like that in the daytime? Zhang Duoer felt that she was dead in front of Yi Feng. The kind-hearted she did not immediately think that the person who died in the society should be Yi Feng. At this moment, Ji Ming and Li Fengxian came together not far away. They inquired about Yi Feng's dormitory, and wanted to meet this amazing student in advance. But then the two were stunned. However, she saw Zhang Duoer's pretty face was blushing, and her big watery eyes had a strange look. Breathing a little too fast. The two geniuses looked at each other. Ji Ming is a martial arts idiot, and a straight man of steel who doesn't feel anything. On the contrary, Li Fengxian looked at the room number and his expression became meaningful. Sister Zhang, is Yi Feng inside? Ji Ming asked. They are all 3 families, so everyone is familiar with them. Zhang Duoer nodded, and then she said with a blushing face, You, don't go in now. Why? Ji Ming was confused. Li Fengxian took a deep look at Zhang Duoer, thinking that Yi Feng's boy is not superficial. How long did it take to get the beautiful Zhang family? Well, as an old lover, Li Fengxian can see the problem at a glance. The appearance of this Xiaojiabiyu shows that Yi Feng has just done something bad. Moreover, it seemed that Zhang Duoer did not refuse, but was rather shy. And cover for that guy. Li Fengxian made another analysis, and the wise color in his eyes was even stronger. That he. Zhang Duoer was worried and didn't know how to explain it. Yi Feng came out wearing a bathrobe. The hair was still wet. The 3 looked at the same time. This guy is really handsome. Li Fengxian thought. Ji Ming said in his heart, he is Yi Feng. My instinct tells me that he is also a martial arts idiot. Zhang Duoer thought. Oh, you can figure it out, otherwise I don't know what to say. Thinking of this, Zhang Duoer gave Yi Feng a blank look. There was a sense of amorous feelings in it. I go. Yi Feng was startled when he saw 3 people. I just took a shower. It looks like I just finished my work. Li Fengxian sniffed. Tisk, my wisdom is like I saw through this kid's adultery all at once. As he said that, he glanced at Ji Ming, disdainful in his heart. I'm afraid this Wu Kai didn't even see Mao. The three had different expressions, but their eyes were all on Yifeng. What? Is something wrong? Yifeng raised his brows. He knew both Zhang Duoer and Li Fengxian. Jiming has also seen the photo of this person, but this is the first time he has seen the real person. It is somewhat similar to GTN, but the tenderness on his face has faded, and his brows are masculine and mighty. Jiming was about to speak when his face suddenly changed slightly. Immediately, the light in his eyes soared. Li Fengxian had the same expression. You. The two looked at Yifeng in disbelief as if they had seen a ghost. Li Fengxian was patronizing gossip just now and didn't notice Yifeng's breath. This look immediately found clues. During the special training camp, this guy was bronze 6 star. And then it was only 10 days before the bronze great consummation. What? Zhang Duer also saw it. Yifeng has not been able to retract and release the bronze great perfection just now, so there is a little leakage. Yifeng, have you completed the great consummation? Li Fengxian still didn't believe it. It took him 1 month to go from bronze 6 stars to Zochin. Even so, many people are envious and jealous. Jiming listened attentively. Just broke through. Yifeng said impatiently. What are you looking for from me? He was planning to absorb the spirit ring. How could he have the time to chat here? Just broke through. Sure enough, he is a martial idiot. Jiming's affection for Yifeng has increased a little bit again. Yifeng, my old man invites you to sit at Ji's house. Jiming put away the unruly that went deep into the bone marrow, revealing a solemn look. Li Fengxian sighed secretly. It's really embarrassing for this martial idiot, and he doesn't know how the old man asked Jiming to invite him. Could it be that? You think that GTN is not qualified? Well, very likely. I am too smart. Yifeng glanced at Jiming. Okay, I will go in a few days. What time will it be in a few days? Jiming is serious. Yifeng's eyes widened. Can't you hear what I mean? I don't know when to go in a few days. Li Fengxian laughed frantically. Well, in 3 or 4 days. Yifeng added. Jiming said seriously. Is that the 3rd day or the 4th day? Yifeng, Li Fengxian. Is this guy a fool? Yifeng said politely in his heart. When my time is determined, I will talk to GTN. Yifeng felt that it was more convenient to communicate with GTN. Jiming thought about it and nodded. Okay. With a sigh of relief, what the old man explained was finally done. Next is my own business. Leaf. Jiming didn't have time to say that Zhang Duer quickly said, Yifeng, that my dad has found a clue about a space-type soul beast. As soon as these words came out, Jiming and Li Fengxian looked over at the same time. Space-type soul beasts are extremely rare, and the old man of the Zhang family has worked hard enough to win over Yifeng. Yifeng's eyes lit up. Really? Yes, it is. Zhang Duer's eyes dodged frantically, as if she was still thinking about the big baby. I'm here to inform you. Yifeng didn't reply to her message before, and no one knocked on the door twice. Originally, she wanted to wait for Yifeng to contact her, but Zhang Wuji was furious when she heard it. Said that kid is in the limelight recently. What if he was taught to assassinate by the beasts? So Zhang Duoer is here again today. Thank you, old man, for me. Yifeng said sincerely, then looked at Jiming and the two of them. Are you two still doing anything? Li Fengxian and Jiming looked at each other. The former slandered in his heart, why am I your senior and a figure in the imperial capital, so you don't plan to fawn on me? What Jiming thought was that Yifeng was already complete, and if a space spirit ring was attached, it would be a silver-level spirit master. Amazing. After forcibly sending the two away, Yifeng pulled Zhang Duoer into his dormitory. The next thing he wants to know is most likely the second spirit ring of the Void God Blade. This is a secret for a soul master. Yifeng asked himself that he and Li Fengxian were not familiar with each other, so there was no need to let them know his secret. Zhang Duoer looked at Yifeng curiously. What are you doing? Yifeng rolled his eyes wildly and looked at Zhang Duoer like a fool. Don't you think you forgot to say something to me? Zhang Duoer thought for a while and shook her head. Master Zhang didn't tell you about the soul beast's information. Yifeng glared at Zhang Duoer and said, is it possible that you have to keep my client a secret? Oh, I remember. Zhang Duoer looked at Yifeng with admiration. Yifeng, you are so smart, you remember such details. Thinking of the straightforward Ji's life just now, Yi Feng felt desperate for these noble families. After a pause, Zhang Duoer suddenly pretended to be mysterious and said, "Which one do you want to hear first, a good news or a bad news?" Yi Feng was stunned. What kind of brain circuit is this fool? Am I so in the mood to see you selling off here? Yi Feng said angrily, "Just tell me the information." Zhang Duoer snorted, thinking it was boring. Immediately, he said, "My dad said that it is called the Deep Space Demon Cloud Beast, and the age is 3,200 years. 3,200 years, equivalent to 2 gold stars. This was Zhang Wuji who took the risk and went 20,000 kilometers into the Shira world to find it by chance. For this reason, he was almost discovered by those powerful beings. Deep Space Demonic Cloud Beast. Yi Feng's eyes brightened. That's great. The Deep Space Demon Cloud Beast is listed as a space-type soul beast that is about to become extinct in the Encyclopedia of Soul Beasts. It is very famous, partly because of its iconic ability, Void Shift. Void Shift can divert the opponent's attack. This is a bit of a big shift in the world of martial arts novels in previous lives. In addition, Void Transfer can also transfer other people or spirit beasts to somewhere. Another reason why the Deep Space Cloud Beast is famous is the Soul Master of the Phantom Sword 300 years ago. At that time, that one hunted and killed a Deep Space Cloud Beast, and then instantly transferred the human race soldiers to the battlefield in a big battle. It's good, but the age is not too short. Zhang Duoer said, 3,200 years, if you absorb it, it will explode. This is also what Zhang Wuji felt sorry for. As a space-type soul beast, the soul ability of the Deep Space Demon Cloud Beast is absolutely the dream of everyone. But 3,200 years is an insurmountable gap for Yi Feng now. To absorb beyond the limit of one's own tolerance is to die. Yi Feng asked, "Did the old man tell you when the monster in the deep space will appear?" "If it's another 10 days and a half months, that's the best. At that time, he already has 1 silver star, and if he absorbs the attached spirit bones, it should be possible with his physical strength. But if it's these days, then it's really time to gamble." Zhang Duoer said, "My dad said that the deep space monsters should be out for food. He has made my second uncle watch for 24 hours. If there is any movement, he will contact me as soon as possible." "That would be great." Yi Feng breathed a sigh of relief. Finally there was still time. If Zhang Duoer let him go in these 2 days, Yi Feng could only go to the front line with tears in his eyes. "You, really planning to go?" Zhang Duoer's eyes are round. "Aren't you afraid of death?" Yi Feng didn't explain, but issued an expulsion order. After locking the door again, Yi Feng turned on the phone and immediately rubbed his hands together. Next, it is time to absorb the soul ring of the dead ghost wolf. The age of the dead wolf is 1100 years, which is not a big problem for Yi Feng today. System, take out the spirit ring. Yi Feng took a deep breath and focused quickly. Buzz. Immediately, a soul ring emitting purple light came into view. Purple represents mystery and luxury. The moment the soul ring of Death Wolf appeared, Yi Feng suddenly felt a little dazed. At that moment, he actually saw his old self in the reflection of the spirit ring. The power of time is truly mysterious, Yi Feng murmured. Immediately afterwards, the majestic soul power in the body spewed out. Boom. Fortunately, the furniture in the dormitory can be hard, otherwise the dormitory will be gone all of a sudden. A few minutes later, Yi Feng's soul power wrapped the soul ring. Immediately, the tyrannical power began to run. At this time, the advantage of a high degree of control over soul power is reflected. Absorbing soul rings is always consuming soul power. If the control of the soul power is not high, the soul power will be greatly lost. It is possible to create an embarrassing situation where the physical strength is sufficient and the soul power is lost. Under Yi Feng's control, the spirit ring began to melt. This process lasted half an hour. When the power of the spirit ring entered Yi Feng's body, Yi Feng frowned slightly. A little tingling, but not much of a problem. 40 minutes passed by without knowing it. Buzz. A wave of soul power that was several times stronger than before oscillated instantly. Yi Feng opened his eyes abruptly, and 2 almost substantive rays of light shot out. "I'm Silver." After speaking, Yi Feng got up. Host. Yi Feng. Boundary, Silver 1 star. Martial Soul, Void God Sword. Soul Ring. 1. Void Crocodile, 500 years, Space Blade. Martial Soul, Time Clock. Soul Ring. 1. Time Tortoise, 2800, Eternal Barrier. 2. Death Wolf, 1100, Death and Withering. Martial Soul Point, 3530. Looking at the new line of words on the virtual panel, Yifeng laughed. Death and Withering, this powerful soul skill is mine now. Ding, it is detected that the host has broken through to Silver 1 star, and the probability of the special reward rate will increase simultaneously. At this moment, the system beep sounded. Yifeng was stunned for a moment, then ecstatic. Is there such a good thing? Yifeng always thought that the probability was fixed. Just like the rare rewards before, who would have thought that the probability of his breakthrough would also increase? The double happiness is approaching, and the joy on Yifeng's face becomes more and more intense. It's a pity I don't know the upper limit of death and decay. Yifeng thought with regret. According to the feedback information, 1100 years plus 1 silver star, death and decay can make the life force of the two targets pass for 150 years. Although Soul Masters show Yuan far surpassed ordinary people, but before breaking through to the diamond level, everyone's Shou Yuan was basically within 200 years old. Direct consumption of 150 years, which clearly is to deal with death. However, the opponents Yifeng had to face were very strong, so it was not clear how much life Yifeng could lose. With Yifeng's breakthrough, the upper limit of martial soul fit was raised from 40% to 45%. The breakthrough range is not as high as the bronze 9 stars to the great perfection, but Yifeng knows that the further the fit is, the harder it is to improve. Not entangled in this aspect, Yifeng took out the attached spirit bone from his portable space that made him covet for a long time. Next, it's up to you. Yifeng rubbed his hands excitedly. Shish. The moment Yifeng took out the spirit bone attached to the void dragon eagle, the space in the dormitory quickly wriggled. It was as if a pool of invisible water was boiling in front of him. In an instant, the space condensed into a pair of transparent wings. Like his void god sword, it is entirely composed of the power of space. Hope everything is fine, Yifeng said and started to use his soul power. After breaking through to silver, Yifeng's soul power was 3 times thicker than that of bronze Zochin. So much soul power, coupled with his control over soul power, is enough to complete the absorption process. However, the Void Dragon Eagle in 2000 is still a bit overloaded for Yifeng today. Therefore, Yifeng had only completely refined the attached spirit bones in the past 3 days. Yifeng took time to glance at the phone, and after finding that there was no information, he continued to focus on the attached spirit bone. Next, is the hardest time. Yifeng rubbed his hands together excitedly. After the Void Dragon Eagle was refined, the energy contained in it was poured into Yifeng's body little by little. Immediately there was a tingling sensation in the back. Hiss. Yifeng gasped in pain. It hurts more than he expected. Absorbing spirit bones is actually a transformation to the Spirit Master himself. Different parts of the soul bone transformation parts are different. The outer soul bone of the Void Dragon Eagle is a pair of wings, and what was transformed was Yifeng's shoulder blade. The pain is most intense here. As time passed, Yifeng felt as if his shoulder blades had been broken. In just a few minutes, Yifeng was soaked all over his clothes. And that's just the beginning. Maid. Yifeng smiled wryly, fighting back with energy. At the same time, in a residential building 10 kilometers from Taikyo University, 10 gold-level beast blood killers sat respectfully on the ground. Zhao Bombing paced back and forth in front of everyone to review the plan. Zhao Bombing has been making plans since the Dharma Protector gave him this task. In order to ensure 100% success and to be able to perform in front of Lord Beast God, Zhao Bombing's brain cells are almost dead. He was very thoughtful. Taikyo University is a place that is highly valued by the human race, and its guards are heavily guarded. But outside of school it's easier. In order not to attract the attention of the strong human race, this time Zhao Bombing selected 10 beast blood killers with 1 gold star. After all, if it is a diamond level or even a grandmaster, once it appears near Taikyo University, it will be subject to interrogation. The gold level does not. There are so many experts in the imperial capital, gold level soul masters are only average, and will not cause anyone's suspicion. 10 people plus myself should be enough, Zhao Bombing said in his heart. He is the pinnacle of diamonds, and 10 people shot him secretly lurking. If 10 people succeed, he doesn't need to show up. If he fails, let 10 people create opportunities for themselves. At that time, with the void magic circle rewarded by the Dharma protector, he can leave unharmed. The only problem now is how to lead Yifeng out. Speaking of this, Zhao Boming had a headache. He already knew through a special channel that Yifeng was in Taijing University. It has been a little over half a month since the end of the special training camp. And Yifeng never showed up. He was always afraid that he and others would take action. If Yifeng doesn't come out, then Zhao Boming can only take the second set of plans. However, the second set of plans was extremely dangerous, and even if he could kill Yifeng, he might not be able to escape. After pondering for a long time, Zhao Boming had an idea. Yan Yi, you will be lurking outside Taikyo University from tomorrow. Zhao Boming said coldly, 5 days. If Yifeng does not come out within 5 days, we will give up the first plan. Yan Yi is the younger brother of Yan Zan who assassinated Yifeng before. The assassination of Yifeng this time was due to Yan Yi taking the initiative to ask Ying. He wants to avenge his big brother. Yes, Yan Yi bowed respectfully. Immediately, 10 people were ready to go. Yan Yi didn't ask where Zhao Boming was, that's not what he should ask. And Yan Yi knew that perhaps the helmsman would have been observing in the dark. Time flies by. 3 days passed in Yifeng's pain and suffering. It's just 6 days since Zhang Duoer and the others left. Buzz. When the 2 shoulder blades were reshaped by the power of the spirit bones attached to the outside, an illusory wing appeared. Boom. Bang. The beds and furniture in the dormitory are directly cut by sharp wings. Immediately it was a mess. And Yifeng didn't care at all, there was a dazzling divine light in his eyes. Is this the external spirit bone? The invisible wings gave Yifeng the feeling that it was like his own hands, which he could use freely. Yifeng touched it lightly, although it was invisible, it felt tactile. This is the same as Yifeng holding the sword of nothingness, he really feels the touch of the feathers. Strong. Yifeng felt a slight smile. The spirit ability attached to the external spirit bone is teleport, which can teleport a distance of 100 meters at once. But don't underestimate the 100 meters, you must know that even Feng Mangong, known for his speed, has no ability to teleport. In Yifeng's view, teleportation is not a distance movement, but a direct teleportation similar to 2 wormholes. So there is no movement path. Drip. Just when Yifeng was researching the attached spirit bone, the mobile phone information appeared. At first glance, Yifeng didn't belong to Zhang Duoer, but GTN. For the past 6 days, GTN hasn't sent Yifeng any messages, and now he can't stand it anymore. Okay, let's go take a look now. Yifeng's thoughts moved, and the Void Dragon Eagle's wings were instantly retracted. Then he sent a message to GTN, I'll go there right away. It feels so good. Yifeng opened his mouth and laughed. 20 minutes later, Yifeng took a shower, changed into clean clothes and left the school gate. Just after Yifeng walked out of the school gate in a good mood, 22 eyes looked at them from different directions at the same time. In the past 3 days, Zhao Boming has been a lot more irritable than before. He thought that Yifeng would definitely not come out. After all, I haven't seen him come out for so long, and if Yifeng doesn't come out, he has to risk his death to go in. So 3 days of waiting made Zhao Boming's mood worse day by day. I thought today was another day of no gain. But when he saw Yifeng appear, he was full of cleverness. It's him. Zhao Boming confirmed in his heart that Zai-san couldn't help but get excited. For a time, Zhao Boming had a kind of human-worthy emotion. Yan Yi and other beast blood killers also saw Yifeng at the same time. Everyone is a momentary spirit. For the past 3 days, they have not closed their eyes to prevent mistakes. Not sleeping for 3 days is nothing to a gold-level soul master. But this high-intensity stalking did make them a little tired. Immediately, Yan Yi, who was hiding in a shopping mall on the street, glanced at the southwest without a trace. That's where the other beast blood killers are. After confirming everyone's location, Yan Yi did not act rashly. He knew that Zhao Boming should also be nearby. And there is a special way of contact between them. School gate. Yifeng slapped his forehead suddenly. No, it's a little inappropriate for me to go past empty-handed. Thinking of this, Yi Feng hurriedly walked back, and it didn't take long before he returned to Taijing University. Zhao Boming was stunned for a moment. What happened? Could it be discovered? No, there's no way this kid could find us. Yan Yi and the others were also stunned, and immediately frowned slightly, not knowing what to do next. In the school, Yi Feng stopped while walking. Forget it, let's go directly. Yi Feng continued to walk towards the school gate. He thought about it. The purpose of this trip was actually to thank the Ji family for saving GTN. If you bring something, on the one hand, you don't have anything good to send. On the other hand, it makes the Ji family feel embarrassed, and may even feel ugly. How can anyone in the world let a savior bring a gift? After thinking about this, Yi Feng walked lightly. From Taikyo University to Ji's house, it takes 1 hour by subway. So Yi Feng decided to go by car. As for the flying ability of using the spirit bone attached to the Void Dragon Eagle. Unless Yi Feng is tired of living in Taijing, it is common sense not to fly without permission. When Yi Feng appeared at the school gate again, Zhao Boming 11 people looked over at the same time. Immediately, Zhao Boming's breathing became a little faster. Although I don't know what the hell this kid is doing, but if he goes in again, there will be no chance. When Zhao Boming's order to prepare to attack was sent, Yan Yi and others all looked extremely chilled. This time, they were ready to meet the beast god. Attacking Yi Feng at the gate of Taikyo University, they didn't have much time. Once Yi Feng is not killed in a short period of time, then they will be unlucky. At that time, the strong people in Taijing University will swarm, and even Zhao Boming may not be able to escape. Just when Yi Feng picked up his mobile phone and was about to take a taxi, 10 people from Yan Yi walked out of each shop. Everyone dresses up as an ordinary person. There are those who wear sunglasses to take pictures, and there are those who bow their heads and play with their mobile phones. And listening to music. At first glance, there is no difference at all, but if you look closely, you will find that these people's eyes are looking at Yi Feng intentionally or unintentionally. When 10 people approached Yi Feng from different directions, they didn't notice this. At this time, it was summer vacation. As a well-known university for human beings, Taikyo University often had tourists come to observe it. Yi Feng didn't think too much. But when Yi Feng put down his phone and glanced at random, he was suddenly stunned. There is a nice person next to me. Just when he was thinking of this, Yan Yi walked over as usual. Wrong. Yi Feng seemed to have thought of something and suddenly woke up. Next moment, boom, a tyrannical breath burst out from Yan Yi's body. A dark green plant phantom appeared in the shape of a green dill. The next moment, a yellow spirit ring appeared under Yan Yi's feet. Almost at the moment when Yan Yi's martial soul was possessed, Yi Feng also possessed his martial soul. During the special training camp, the 2-day field experience greatly increased Yi Feng's combat experience and sense of crisis. So when Yan Yi used his first soul skill, Yi Feng didn't hesitate. No matter who you are, stay still. Buzz. A purple soul ring emerged from under his feet, and the eternal barrier was activated. Yan Yi looked ferocious. This kid can react quickly, but his strength is too poor, and he will die. So far so good. At the moment when Yan Yi launched the attack, 9 people from all around came quickly at the same time. Everyone released a different martial spirit, and 9 yellow spirit rings rose in sequence. Not far away, Zhao Boming had already walked out of the shop while his soul power was running. As long as there is a slight difference between them, Zhao Boming will take action immediately. Although he is 300 meters away from Yi Feng, he can get close in 1 second at his speed. Boom. 10 different attacks hit Yi Feng at the same time. A true ambush. It all happened extremely fast, only 2-3 seconds before and after. Many pedestrians around have not responded. 10 gold-level spirit masters attacked at the same time, and even a 5-star gold spirit master would be seriously injured if caught off guard. Yan Yi and the others all had excitement and ruthlessness on their faces. They seemed to have seen the scene of Yi Feng's head in a different place. But the next moment, a scene that surprised everyone appeared. The 10 attacks seemed to have hit an invisible wall, and they stopped at a distance of 10 centimeters from Yi Feng. What? Yan Yi's face changed dramatically. This is impossible. Although he knew that Yi Feng's time freezing was terrifying, he was able to control his opponents across several stars. But the first number is limited, the second they are all gold. The gap between the stars in the later stage is larger. For example, the gap between the gold 2 stars and the gold 1 star is basically equivalent to the silver 9 stars and the silver 3 stars. This is an insurmountable chasm. Yan Yi didn't understand why for a while. He didn't even notice that Yifeng was already a silver 1-star soul master at this time. The expressions of the other 9 people were the same. Continue. Attack. Yan Yi didn't think much about it. Since their attack has been forcibly controlled, let's continue. Yan Yi didn't believe that Yifeng could control so much at one time. If so, it is God. But before Yan Yi's words were finished, a look of horror suddenly appeared in his eyes, and after that, I was under control. 10 people, including Yan Yi, were all affected by the eternal enchantment at this moment, and they all turned into sculptures and maintained their previous movements. Compared with the freezing of time, the eternal enchantment takes effect faster. And within 50 meters, no matter how many people you come, you are not a human being. Yifeng felt dark in his heart. On this level, before he came out, he thought that he might meet someone from the myriad beast cult. After all, he had already done it twice. Coupled with his current reputation, the myriad beast's religion will not let it go. However, this level is too weak, right? Not far away, Zhao Boming's pupils shrank slightly, and a flash of horror flashed in his eyes. Silver 1 star. Zhao Boming's heartbeat suddenly accelerated, and he kept roaring in his heart. How long has it been since it was silver? Didn't he only get 6 bronze stars during the special training camp? Besides, he hasn't been out of school for a while, so where did his spirit ring come from? A series of questions were simply too late to think about. The moment he saw Yifeng's strength, Zhao Boming immediately possessed his spirit. His martial spirit is rather strange, it is a special kind of fear. If you have to divide it into one category, it should be regarded as the emotional category. When the fearful spirit possessed the body, the pedestrians who had just reacted all around became fearful for no reason. Immediately, everyone looked like they had seen a ghost and their faces turned pale. Die. Zhao Boming didn't look at other people, he only had Yifeng in his eyes. No matter what means Yifeng used to upgrade to Silver 1, such a person cannot stay. Only now did Zhao Boming realize that he still underestimated Yifeng's potential. Not only did he underestimate it, but even the Dharma protector underestimated it. The distance of 300 meters was almost a blink of an eye under Zhao Boming's full effort. And when Zhao Boming was about to approach Yifeng, a second purple soul ring appeared under Yifeng's feet. Death Wolf Soul Ring Skill. Death and Withering activated. Buzz. A deadly gray ripple spread instantly and enveloped Yan Yi in another beast blood killer. Death and Decay can be used on 2 targets at the same time, it is a group attack soul skill. Since Yan Yi and the others have already been controlled by the eternal barrier, Yifeng naturally doesn't want to give up the martial soul point. Then Zhao Boming, who was about to attack Yifeng, saw a picture he had never seen in his life. Yan Yi, who was in his prime, was shrouded in gray light, and then Yan Yi's jet black hair turned white at an unbelievable speed. Not only that, but senile plaques began to appear on Yan Yi's skin. Along with age spots, there are also those twisted wrinkles. With Yan Yi's rapid aging, his strength is also rapidly declining. During the period of being fixed, it quickly dropped from 1 gold star to 1 silver star. Yan Yi, who was still full of energy before, became an old man who was dying. His face was full of age spots, his eyes were cloudy, and his hair that had just turned white quickly disappeared and fell off. Immediately afterwards, under Zhao Boming's doubtful, puzzled and horrified eyes, Yan Yi's vitality suddenly dissipated. All this happened very fast. In less than a second, Yan Yi and another beast blood killer died. Not killed, but alive and dying under the terrifying effect of death and decay. At this moment, Yifeng felt his scalp tingling. Even if the age has not increased, even the current death and decay is the nightmare of those golden soul masters. You must know that the lifespan of a gold-level soul master is basically less than 150. Although this spirit ability might have less influence on the middle and late golden spirit masters, it was enough to frighten them. Let me ask, what is the meaning of soul master cultivation? In addition to wanting to become stronger and stand out, quite a few people are for longevity. Especially the older generation of powerhouses, all hope to live a little longer. And death and decay are their death knells. At the moment when Yan and Yi fell, Zhao Boming felt as if his heart had been stabbed. Immediately, Zhao Boming didn't think much about it, and a dark purple fourth spirit ring emerged from under his feet. Fourth soul ring skill, Fear Thrust. This is Zhao Boming's only single attack, and it is also the strongest attack. The Fear Spur is not a physical attack, but a mental attack, which is very difficult to deal with. When the Fear Spur turned into a purple spike and shot at Yi Feng was covered in hairs. It was only at this time that he noticed Zhao Boming. It's not that his vigilance is not high, but Zhao Boming's strength is too strong. In addition, they are old-fashioned killers and most of the attention just now was on Yan Yi, so Yi Feng didn't notice it. Buzz. At a critical juncture, Yi Feng did not hold back at all. The surrounding space trembled, and the wings of the Void Dragon Eagle emerged from Yi Feng's left and right shoulder blades. That is, the moment Yi Feng summoned his wings, the Fear Thrust hit. It's done. Zhao Boming was overjoyed, but the next moment, the smile on Zhao Boming's face froze. The Fear Thrust was indeed stabbed, but Yi Feng's figure dissipated like a bubble. Zhao Boming was stunned for a moment and suddenly his face changed greatly. Yi Feng unexpectedly appeared 100 meters away. What? Zhao Boming felt as uncomfortable as eating shit. 100% certainty is so gone. Without thinking about it, Zhao Boming gathered his energy and rushed towards Yi Feng at an unbelievable speed. Yi Feng was scared to pee. Fortunately, Laozi had a spirit bone attached to it, otherwise he would have explained it there just now. Seeing Zhao Boming attacking him again, Yi Feng's soul power was rapidly consumed. Call out. When Zhao Boming approached, Yi Feng teleported away again. In this very short period of time, Yi Feng used his soul skills 4 times in a row, which was extremely draining. It is also fortunate that the control of the soul power is high, otherwise the soul power will be exhausted. At this time, the people around them finally reacted. Everyone looked terrified and retreated far away. And at Taikyo University, the head of the hospital, He Bing, suddenly raised his head, and the coldness in his eyes skyrocketed. Shish. In the blink of an eye, Kung Fu Yuan Shou disappeared from the office. Outside Taikyo University, someone was calling the police and someone was taking pictures. Some people are anxious. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that the Taikyo University student was besieged. What makes them curious is that among the 10 people who were besieged just now, 2 were suddenly old. The other 8 stood there motionless. The situation is a bit strange, although some people ask themselves that their strength is good, but they dare not approach. Zhao Boming roared in his heart. Just now, Yi Feng teleported 3 times in a row. Dodged his attacks again and again. The last time, Zhao Boming became more and more anxious and anxious. He never dreamed that a mere Yi Feng would be so difficult to kill. You must know that with his strength, let alone the gold level, even a 6-star diamond can be killed quickly. Yan Yi and the other 10 made it clear that they couldn't leave. If you delay any longer, you will be left here. Thinking of this, Zhao Boming's soul power was rapidly consumed in his body. Although Yi Feng was teleported, he was not careless. He can't make mistakes, or he'll be out of luck. Seeing Zhao Boming attacking him again, Yi Feng cheered up. He knew that maybe the masters in the school had come. Boom. The 8,000-year-old spirit ring skill, Fear Thrust, smashed the street lamp and its nearby stone slabs to smithereens. And Yi Feng only left a phantom next to the street lamp. It was a phantom created by the moment of teleportation. Looking at Yi Feng 100 meters away, Zhao Boming's expression became extremely gloomy. The 100 meters turned out to be an insurmountable chasm for him. Although as long as he is given a certain amount of time, Yi Feng can easily kill this annoying guy when his soul power is exhausted. However, Zhao Boming ran out of time. He had clearly heard the harsh wind breaking. That is the guardian of Taikyo University. Walk. Zhao Boming was extremely angry. When the void array in his hand was crushed, ripples appeared in the surrounding space. Want to run. He Bing, who was thousands of meters away, was murderous and clapped both hands at the same time. The 2 ice knives shot at Zhao Boming like bullets. However, He Bing's speed was still a little slower. The void array has been activated. At this time, Zhao Boming's figure has become a little illusory, and the ice knife can't catch up. Yi Feng was not happy when he saw this scene. Mad, make me so miserable and want to run. Once or twice when lousy is easy to bully. The next moment, Yi Feng performed the last teleport in Zhao Boming's surprise. The moment he appeared in front of Zhao Boming, Yi Feng Wuxian appeared. Space Blade. This is the only soul power left in his body. When the Space Blade was displayed, Yi Feng felt that the blackness in front of him fell from the air. The 40-meter-long Space Blade instantly hit Zhao Boming, who was wrapped in the void magic circle. A scene that terrified Zhao Boming appeared. The void magic circle that was about to take effect actually stopped for a while under the influence of the Space Blade. If it's normal, this time it's nothing. But He Bing's attack arrived. Do not. Zhao Boming let out a desperate and angry roar. PFF'd. The two ice knives penetrated Zhao Boming's heart one after the other. He Bing in the distance was stunned for a moment. Strange, he actually hit it. What? Zhao Boming's heart was pierced and a shrill scream came directly from the sky. He never dreamed that the assassination would be ruined by this guy. The Space Blade did not pose any threat to him, but it interfered with the teleportation formation. Mistake. Fatal mistake. Zhao Boming felt extremely remorseful at this moment. Since he knew that Yi Feng had the Sword of Nothingness, he should take precautions in advance. Yi Feng just got up at this time, and his eyes lit up when he saw this. He just used the Space Blade to vent his anger in it, but he didn't expect it to be really effective. PFF'd. Zhao Boming, who was seriously injured and on the verge of death, fell to the ground like a pool of rotten flesh, bleeding profusely. He Bing appeared between Yi Feng and Zhao Boming, his face still murderous. He recognized Zhao Boming's identity, the helmsman of the 10,000 Beast sect. Attack at the gate of Taikyo University, the first time ever. He Bing felt slapped in the face by Zhao Boming. Anger. Be afraid. Fortunately, Yi Feng was fine. Just when He Bing was about to make up for the knife. Be merciful, Yi Feng said suddenly. He Bing was stunned. Yi Feng didn't explain, but stepped on Zhao Boming's broken heart to make up for it. Zhao Boming, who had passed out, trembled, and immediately lost his breath. After doing all this, Yi Feng spread out on the ground as if he had lost all his strength. He Bing quickly supported Yi Feng. At this moment, the effect of the eternal enchantment of the other 8 beast blood killers not far away was lifted. He Bing waved his hand. Boom! The terrifying power of ice directly wrapped the 8 people. The 8 people who managed to recover were immobilized again, but this time they were frozen into ice sculptures. Ding! Successfully kill the Diamond Peak Spirit Master to trigger a rare reward and get a Martial Spirit Holy Stone. At this time, the system prompt sounds. Yi Feng's eyes skyrocketed. Killing Zhao Boming, who was countless times stronger than himself, actually directly triggered the rare reward. Cool. System, can the Holy Spirit Stone increase the life of the Spirit Ring? Yi Feng asked. This Martial Soul Holy Stone and Martial Soul True Stone have similar names and should have similar effects. Return to the host. A Martial Soul Holy Stone can increase the life of the Spirit Ring for 6,000 years. After the system finished speaking, Yi Feng's eyes widened. One is 6,000 years old. This is going to be invincible. Yi Feng originally thought that the Holy Stone of Martial Soul could increase by 1,200 years at most, and that was enough. Who knew it would be 10 times over all of a sudden? Suddenly, Yi Feng looked at the other 8 beast blood killers with different eyes. Teacher, leave those people to me to kill. Yi Feng said quickly. The 8 beast blood killers were frozen by He Bing's soul power, and it was already at the end of the battle at this moment. And He Bing Yi Feng has never seen it or knows it. He Bing hesitated and nodded. It's good to let these students see blood, but this kid seems to be eager to kill. The crowd gathered around, but people from the detective bureau had already arrived to maintain order. 2 more teachers from Taikyo University came over. The 2 first glanced at Yi Feng and found that he was safe and sound, and then asked, He Yuanshou. He Bing shook his head, indicating that now is not the time to say this. Yi Feng walked up to the 8 people and killed 7 of them with the idea of draining the last bit of value. Ding! Congratulations to the host for beheading the Golden 1-Star Soul Master and obtaining 300 Martial Soul Points. Ding! Congratulations to the host for beheading the Golden 1-Star Soul Master and obtaining 1 true Martial Soul Stone. 7 beats sounded one after another. The joy on Yi Feng's face became stronger and stronger. After breaking through to silver, the probability of special rewards has indeed increased. 7 beast blood killers have 2 spirit stones. The remaining 5 are martial soul points. Cool, so cool. Yifeng was very excited. Previously, he felt that there was a long way to go to increase the age of spirit rings, but now it seems that 3 soul rings will be completed soon. At this moment, Yibing came over with a strange shock and handed over a medicinal pill. Yifeng was weak, and he stuffed it into his mouth without even looking at it. The reason why he stayed alone was to see if he could torture him. The 10,000 beast sect dealt with him one after another. Yifeng was already angry. He wants revenge. In addition, Yifeng also needs a lot of resources to exchange martial soul points. In the myriad beasts religion, there is absolutely no shortage of these things. Crash. There was an abnormal sound like the sound of water flowing in the body, and immediately Yifeng's depleted soul power began to recover at a speed visible to the naked eye. Suddenly, Yifeng felt a sense of pleasure in a long drought. Although the attack of the myriad beast realm made Yifeng's cards come to an end. But the gains are also huge. Little guy, let's go back to school. Yibing supported Yifeng with a soft voice. The other 2 teachers looked around vigilantly, for fear of another accident. Yifeng glanced at it casually, and found that there were hundreds of people around him at some point. That's Yifeng, right, who is so courageous to kill someone in the imperial capital? It must be a member of the myriad beast cult. Beast World almost cost us a genius. I'm late, can anyone tell me what's going on? I don't know either. I just saw that 10 people suddenly stopped moving, and then 2 suddenly became old. Yes, there is another strong breath, it should be diamond level. Everyone, you gave me a general introduction to the previous situation. Immediately, everyone looked at Yifeng with different expressions. He instantly controlled 10 gold levels. Also, are you still saving your life in the diamond level chase? In the crowd, Humo, the principal of No. 6 middle school who happened to pass by, only felt dizzy. Is this record sure is true? This is too scary, too luxurious. Humo came relatively late, and by the time Yibing had hit Jiao bombing, he felt dreamy when he heard everyone's analysis. Seeing a man next to him excitedly fiddling with his mobile phone, Humo's eyes narrowed. This brother, did you take a picture just now? The man nodded excitedly and said, it's all captured. Great, can you show me? Humo asked quickly. The surveillance here has been destroyed by the previous battle. When Humo saw Yifeng forcefully controlling 10 people in the video, his face changed again and again. After a long time, Humo stared blankly at Yifeng's leaving back and murmured, the wind is full of bows, so lucky. Yifeng and several people entered the school, and the work of the detective bureau began. The first thing they have to do is to check the onlookers to see if they can find anything. As for Yifeng's side, he obviously had to wait for him to recover before asking about the specific situation. At the same time, Ji family, Ji Chen, who was wearing a dark blue tang suit, sat upright and looked calm. But his eyes are constantly looking at the clock in the living room. Below, Ji Ming and Ji Tian are listed. Something's wrong. Ji Chen suddenly spoke. The brothers said blankly, what's wrong, Dad? Ji Chentang stood up suddenly and said, has Yifeng been assassinated twice by the 10,000 beast sect before? Ji Tian nodded. Many students knew about this. Not good. Ji Ming's face suddenly changed. Yifeng's talent is too terrifying. Although the 2 assassination attempts of the 10,000 beast sect failed, there is no reason to give up. And if he wants to make an appointment, he must leave Taikyo University. Ji Ming was about to speak, but saw that Ji Chen had disappeared. Ji Chen's speed increased to the extreme, and he left the Ji family villa area in the blink of an eye. It's just that Ji Chen's heart was completely cold at this time. There is a rare trace of panic. He invited Yifeng to Ji's house, on the one hand, to repay Yifeng's kindness for saving Ji Tian. On the other hand, I also want to win 1 or 2. However, if Yifeng died at the hands of the 10,000 beast sect, then he was an indirect murderer. Thinking of this, Ji Chen was both angry and annoyed. He didn't even think of this. If Yifeng is really dead, then Ji Chen is a sinner of the human race. The super powerful at the peak of the dignified Grand Master, his limbs are cold in the hot summer. Boom. In order to get to Taikyo University as soon as possible, Ji Chen couldn't care less about the no-fly order. Even desperately burning the soul power in the body, I hope it will be faster. At Ji Chen's speed, 10 seconds from Ji's house to Taikyo University is enough. Under his desperate efforts, Ji Chen only took 2 seconds. When Ji Chen arrived at Taikyo University, he saw 10 corpses on the ground and the surrounding crowd at a glance. Ji Chen's heart became even colder. It's over. Ji Chen felt that his eyes were darkened and he stumbled. Immediately, there was a burst of despair on the resolute face, and it was too late. At this moment, Ji Chen seemed to be several decades older. He never dreamed that Yi Feng would be killed before the grace of saving his son was repaid. Chief Ji. At this moment, Humo came over in surprise. Ji Chen didn't have the mind to take care of Humo, and walked towards the school as if he was absent-minded. Ji Patriarch Yi Feng has entered the school. Humo said again. Ji Chen's body was shocked, and he turned back suddenly. What did you say? Being stared at by Ji Chen, Humo said in amazement, just now, the court guard brought Yi Feng back. Yi Feng is not dead. Ji Chen felt that the whole world had regained its luster. Ha ha ha. Ji Chen laughed loudly. As long as he didn't die, as long as he breathed, Ji Chen could save Yi Feng. Hu Mugong wanted to tell Ji Chen about the situation, but found that Ji Chen had already entered the school. Inside the office, He Bing looked at Yi Feng with concern. In addition to 2 people, there are 2 old acquaintances of Yi Feng. One of them is Yu Qingyan, the dean of the Elements Institute. It's just that Yu Qingyan's face was very ugly, and the anger in his chest was almost uncontrollable. During the summer vacation, Wang Quan and the others all went to the Shira world, or went into seclusion. Therefore, only a few courtyards were there, and Yu Qingyan just came back for some business, and as a result, he heard about the assassination of the 10,000 Beast sect. The other was Qin Lai, the prison envoy. All animal religion matters are his responsibility. He came earlier than Yu Qingyan, and Qin Lai followed Yi Feng as soon as he entered the school gate. Just like Yu Qingyan, Qin Lai's face was also not good looking. This kind of thing happened, he didn't even notice in advance. This is his dereliction of duty and shame. Call. Yi Feng opened his eyes, and the soul power in his body had recovered by 1/5. All of this is due to the medicinal pill He Bing just gave. Seeing that Yi Feng was awake, the 3 Grand Masters peeked at the same time with concern. I'm fine. Yi Feng got up and moved his muscles and said. In this battle, he just exhausted his soul power and didn't even lose a single hair. The 3 nodded and breathed a sigh of relief. I was afraid that Yi Feng might have some hidden dangers. However, Yu Qingyan was still not at ease, raised his hand and sent a soul power. After sensing it, Yu Qingyan's eyes widened. This guy is really okay. He also thought that Yi Feng would be injured a little bit, but this kid is alive and well because of excessive consumption of soul power. Suddenly, Yu Qingyan looked at Yi Feng differently. Yi Feng, tell me about the situation at that time. Qin Lai said in a deep voice. Yi Feng didn't hide it. These things were quickly known on the internet. After all, many people recorded videos. That's how it is. Yi Feng pretended to have lingering fears and said, fortunately, there is a spirit bone attached to the outside, otherwise I'm afraid. Qin Lai and Yu Qingyan and He Bing looked at each other, and then they saw a deep shock in each other's eyes. The gold-level beast blood killer is actually like an ant here in Yi Feng. When was it so easy to kill a gold 1-star with a mere silver star? This leapfrog combat capability is unheard of. It seems, even Lord Fa Zun couldn't do it back then, right? Qin Lai was extremely shocked. Amazing. Yu Qingyan gave Yi Feng a deep look. He didn't ask Yi Feng the origin of the 2nd spirit ring of the time divine clock, but he knew that someone must be helping in the dark. Who is this guy? Yu Qingyan already has the answer in his heart. Perhaps it is one of the 3 pillars. Only they can find the time-type soul beast. He Bing stroked his long beard and said with emotion, I suddenly felt that Principal Wang is too wise. He also knew when Feng Mangong took Yi Feng to get the soul ring of the time mysterious turtle. As a hospital guard, his duty is to guard the school and keep an eye on every move in the school. As for the important place like the treasure pavilion, the hospital guard will naturally pay attention. In He Bing's view, Wang Quan was so brave that he brought such an evildoer to Taikyo University. While thinking about it, a report came from outside the door. President Yu, Ji Chen, the head of the Ji family, is visiting. Yu Qingyan said, "Let him come in." As soon as he finished speaking, Ji Chen, a tall man, walked over quickly. He was stunned when he saw Yi Feng, who was alive and well. "This picture is not what I thought. Shouldn't this kid be on the verge of dying? No, there must be serious internal injuries." Immediately, Ji Chen sighed and asked, "How is Yi Feng?" Except for He Bing and Ji Chen, the three present were from the same era. Yu Qingyan and Qin Lai were both juniors. And He Bing is only the peak of the master. So the three of them bowed to Ji Chen at the same time. Then Yu Qingyan said, "Chief Ji, Yi Feng is fine." Bullshit. Ji Chen was slightly angry. He obviously thought that the three people's inspection was not careful enough. Immediately, his expression changed, showing an amiable look, and said, "Yi Feng, Ji Chen, the master of the Ji family, we met during the special training camp. Can I ask the old man to check one or two?" Yi Feng nodded helplessly. This old man cares so much. After a while, Ji Chen had doubts and confusion on his face. What happened? Has it been cured? This little guy has no injuries at all. Cough. Patriarch Ji, I said Yi Feng is fine. Yu Qingyan said, "If something really happened, I would have informed Principal Wang long ago." Thinking that Yi Feng saved Ji Tian's life, he probably understood Ji Chen's intention. But I didn't expect Ji Chen to be so concerned. It's fine, it's fine. Ji Chen thought to himself. Otherwise, this old man will have trouble sleeping and eating in this life. After a pause, he said, "You three did a good job, the old man owes you a favor." Ji Chen thought that Zhao Boming and the others should have killed 3 people. Although Yi Feng is from Taizheng University, but there is the grace of saving his son, so Ji Chen feels that he owes 3 people a favor. The expressions of Yu Qingyan and the 3 immediately became strange. They probably understood what Ji Chen was thinking. "Chief Ji, this matter, maybe not what you think," He Bing said with a smile. "Those people were killed by Yi Feng." "Oh, so it's like, what?" Ji Chen's body trembled and suddenly looked at He Bing. He suspected that He Bing was teasing himself, but he had no evidence. He Bingtan gave a general overview of the previous situation. Ji Chen's face became more complicated the more he listened, and in the end, Ji Chen's head was blank for a moment. As the helm of the Ji family, he knows more secrets. It is no exaggeration to say that Yi Feng's combat power and speed of progress are the number 1 in the ages. And this kind of existence is almost because of my own mistakes. I am afraid to think about it. It has to be said that Ji Ming has inherited Ji Chen's honesty perfectly. The future of the human race. Ji Chen sighed. At the same time, in the Shira world, the Bloody Plains. A towering building stands on the Bloody Plain. This building is like a pillar supporting the sky, and it is impossible to see the end at a glance. 200 kilometers away from here, Wang Quan and Hong Zhen stood side by side with a solemn expression. During the summer vacation, Wang Quan basically did not go back to school, and he was here to retreat and fight. The two had just experienced a war, and the two did not take advantage of each other's hands together. Although the other party was forced to retreat, the expressions of both of them at the moment were a bit ugly. That beast has become stronger again, and he can't beat it. Hong Zhen said in a loud voice, and the earth trembled with every word he said. Wang Quan glanced at Hong Zhen. It turns out that it is better to ask the King of Hell than to ask you Hong Zhen for help. He was scolding Hong Zhen for his incompetence on the side. Hong Zhen didn't refute. "I want to help you too. That guy is getting stronger every time. It's very weird. If I fight again, my old Hong's life will be involved." Wang Quan pinched his brows and felt a little annoyed. Chaos Mystery opened within a few days. At that time, he must go back, but it will be difficult to find opportunities if the matter here is not resolved. It was rare for Hong Zhen to see Wang Quan's irritable mouth cracking open with a smile. "Pharaoh, this person is fate. It's not yours, it's not yours, it's not yours. Hurry back and prepare for the matter of entering the secret realm of chaos." Wang Quan hummed, "It's not bad for a few days." Just as Hong Zhen was about to sneer, his wrist vibrated, and the message came. After 300 kilometers deep into the Shira world, the electronic communication will completely fail, and it can only be transmitted by special methods in the military. Wang Quan didn't care, but thought about it with a headache. He was bound to get that thing, but if the old boy Hong Zhen didn't help, it would be a headache. As for the king of hell, far away cannot quench near thirst. Suddenly Wang Quan was stunned for a moment. A flash of surprise flashed in Hong Zhen's bull-eyed eyes, and the strange color quickly returned to normal. Wang Quan asked curiously, "What's wrong?" Hong Zhen covered up his strangeness very well, but kept roaring in his heart. That Yifeng actually controlled 10 gold levels in an instant. Who thinks this? That guy is already a 1-star silver. How to practice? Can you even escape the pursuit of the Diamond Peak? How did you do it? God, old king. Caused Laozi to lose a tiger general. But how could Hong Zhen tell Wang Quan about this kind of thing? He asked himself whether the city government was still very good. So Hong Zhen said casually, "It's nothing, the little brats report the military situation." Wang Quan didn't think much about it, the things in front of him were more important. Cough cough, that, old Wang, there is nothing serious at the rear, I will continue to help you. Hong Zhen suddenly said something. How? Wang Quan raised his brows. Tell me about your conditions. This old Hong is not so kind, he must be holding back bad water. If something happens to you, old Wang, can I, Lao Hong, really don't care. Hong Zhen looked at Wang Quan and said, but since you said it, give me Yifeng. Wang Quan's eyes widened as if he understood something. Hong Zhen was annoyed, it was broken, he couldn't hold back. As predicted, as the information just now related to that kid Yifeng. Wang Quan said with a faint smile, tell me what's wrong. Hong Zhen was suddenly unable to ride a tiger, saying that it was not true, and it would not be very good not to say it. Speak and chirp, Wang Quan said. That kid should be in the school, did you burn the school down? Hong Zhen bit the bullet and said, the 10,000 beast sect attacked. Yifeng instantly controlled 10 gold 1-star beast blood killers with the strength of 1-star silver, and saved his life in Zhao Bombing's pursuit. Yifeng is safe. Although it is a special communication method of the military, there is a word limit. Hong Zhen read it as it was, which was already the limit of the number of words that could be transmitted. At first, Wang Quan's face was filled with murderous aura, and he was immediately stunned. Is this a mistake? Wang Quan asked subconsciously. Silver 1-star strongly controls gold 1-star. Or 10, why can't I believe this? Also, that Zhao Bombing is the pinnacle of diamonds, so he could save his life by chasing Yifeng. No, that kid has 1 silver star. Hong Zhen grinned and was very satisfied with Wang Quan's response. This old boy can't hold his breath more than me, haha. I want to go back. Wang Quan, who was not in a hurry before, said abruptly. It's amazing. Is this guy really that evil? And if the information is true, then Yifeng can participate in the secret realm of chaos. Thinking of this, Wang Quan became more and more anxious. Ah, are you going back now? Hong Zhen was confused. I don't want anything. And you have to give me Yifeng. Wang Quan stopped and said with a smile, Old Hong, this person depends on his fate. If it's not yours, it's not yours. Let's go. It disappeared instantly. It was only when Wang Quan left Hong Zhen that he reacted. Immediately stomping his feet in anger, this fool returned Laozi's words intact. Inside Taikyo University, He Yuanshou, where is the beast blood killer just now? Yifeng asked after he recovered. He Bing looked at Qin Lai as soon as these words came out. Qin Lai with a stern expression said solemnly, Yifeng, these people have the imprint of the beasts planted on them, and they cannot be tortured. He guessed what Yifeng was thinking. Who knows? Yifeng snorted, if it was before, he had nothing to do with the mark of the beasts. But with death and decay, it is different. This soul skill may be able to unlock the mark of the beasts. Ji Chen said, Yifeng, if you plan to get rid of the Dijing's branch of the 10,000 beasts, the old man and the Ji family will fully support you. Thank you, senior. Yifeng has exactly this intention. Immediately, the group came to the next office. At this time, the unfortunate beast blood killer was already in an ice sculpture state, and he did so mainly because he was afraid of suicide. One of the reasons why the people of the 10,000 beasts have a headache is that they are all brainwashed or controlled. He Bing released the other party's state at will. With a few people there, he couldn't do it if he wanted to commit suicide. Then several people looked at Yifeng at the same time, they wanted to know what Yifeng was going to do. The beast blood killer was sluggish at this time, and if He Bing hadn't intentionally left him alive, he might have died long ago. Seeing Yi Feng standing there safe and sound, the beast blood killer had a trace of confusion and fear in his eyes. This person is not dead. After being controlled by the eternal enchantment, his thoughts also solidified, so he did not know what happened next. What's your name? Yi Feng asked. The killer knew Ji Chen and their identities, and said nervously, Aftermath. Tell me where your rudder is. As soon as Yi Feng finished speaking, a look of pain appeared on Yu Bo's face. Immediately, a thumb-sized blood-red rune appeared on his forehead. This is the mark of the beasts, and as long as someone wants to reveal the relevant secrets, the mark of the beasts is automatically activated. Buzz. Yi Feng didn't talk nonsense. The god of time was possessed by the spirit of martial arts. Immediately, a purple spirit ring emerged from under his feet. Seeing this scene, the eyes of Ji Chen and the others soared. Indeed 1,000 years. And looking at the spirit ring breath, it should be 1,100 years. As for the dead wolf, they didn't know. Time-based soul beasts are very rare. Even if Ji Chen has lived for most of his life, he has never seen them, so he naturally doesn't know much about them. At this time, the aftermath is in the activation of the mark of the beasts and has lost his mind. Yi Feng didn't hesitate, and death and withering started immediately. Shish. Under the surprise of Ji Chen and the others, the mark of the beasts on Yu Bo's eyebrows changed. The blood-red runes change from darker to lighter under the influence of death and decay. In less than 1 second, it completely turned into a light white, and then completely eliminated. And the aftermath of losing his mind once again controlled his body with a dazed look on his face. This is. Ji Chen's eyes were full of brilliance, but they really did it. Yi Feng was also overjoyed. The mark of the beasts is not such a clever technique, nor does it contain particularly strong power. Death and withering can not only affect people or spirit beasts, but also items. That's why Yi Feng decided to give it a try, but he didn't expect it to be successful once. Yu Bo's body trembled, as if he knew what Yi Feng said. The fear and despair in his eyes became stronger and stronger. Although he lost the mark of the beasts, he didn't think he could survive. Tell me the specific information of the sub-rudder, and I can consider not killing you. Yi Feng asked with a cold expression. Otherwise, it would be better for you to die. After Yi Feng finished speaking, Ji Chen and the four released a little coercion, making Yu Bo's face even paler. I say, although Yu Bo is a loyal believer, he is not afraid of death. Before everyone was controlled by the imprint of the beasts as a last resort. In fact, there were only a few who were truly brave and not afraid of death. After listening to Yu Bo's words, Yi Feng's expression became colder and colder. In addition to the development of members and the assassination of the elites of the tribe, the 10,000 beasts also secretly sells children. Those with good talent are left behind to become beast blood killers, while those with bad talent are all fed to the guardian beasts. Beasts. He Bingqi's beard was trembling, and he could not wait to fly to the headquarters of the 10,000 Beasts sect to kill the quartet. Although the other two did not speak, they were still heartbroken. After Yu Bo said all the information he knew, he trembled. I said it all. He looked at Yi Feng with hopeful eyes. Obviously, this is the one who controls his life and death. Yi Feng nodded. You can die. Speaking of death, the ghost ring of the ghost wolf appeared. Buzz. A gray light that symbolizes death hangs over the aftermath. Immediately, the expressions of the four Ji Chen changed. I saw that the aftermath started to age rapidly. Hair turns white and then falls out. The skin is sagging and wrinkled. The breath also dropped to the extreme. Do not. Yu Bo looked at his hands full of age spots in horror. Because of his aging, his teeth were all lost, and his speech was slurred. Do not. At this moment, Yu Bo has never had such fear. This fear is deeply carved into the soul. He has seen many terrifying methods of death, all of which are found in the myriad beast religion. But I've never been so scared as I am now. He didn't even know what was wrong with him, why he was suddenly old. Not only is he getting old, but his strength has also dropped to 1 bronze star. Creepy. What? After the last second passed, Yu Bo let out a weak and shrill scream, widened his eyes and died in terror. This aftermath is both old and scared. The silence in the room was eerie. Ji Chen and the four of them actually felt a tinge of coolness. He can actually control lifespan. Ji Chen's right eyelid twitched, although he heard He Bing say it before, but seeing it with his own eyes is a different feeling. If I waited for Yi Feng to be strong enough, what would happen if this terrifying soul skill was applied to me? These strong people, who doesn't yearn for longevity? That little bit of time is precious in the eyes of these people. However, Yi Feng could control death in a single thought. The scariest thing in this world is time. Whoever you are in front of time will be completely obliterated. And Yi Feng can control such power. Horrible. Rejoice. Various emotions were intertwined in the hearts of the four strong men. At the same time, in the western district of Imperial Capital, the Suzaku Legion was stationed. Buzz. A huge teleportation formation flickered. Immediately walked out of two somewhat embarrassed figures. They are Gong Qingyu and Li Fengxian. The two people's breaths declined to varying degrees, and Li Fengxian was the most miserable, and his clothes were tattered like a beggar. A head of jet black hair was tangled a few times by someone. It's really unlucky. Li Fengxian scolded and said, it's all Ji Ming's fault. If he came, we wouldn't be so miserable. You are miserable. Gong Qingyu is a person who loves cleanliness. As soon as he comes out, he immediately takes out the white shirt that has been prepared. After the replacement, he said, but you are not without gain. Speaking of this, Li Fengxian cracked his mouth and laughed. Good luck, good luck. This time, he and Gong Qingyu teamed up to go to the Shira realm, and luckily got some good things. Among them, Li Fengxian gained the most. Although the Asura world is dangerous, it is full of treasures. As long as you can come back alive, you can basically improve a little. What's the date today? Didn't you miss the Chaos Secret Realm? Li Feng asked first. His cell phone and watch were all smashed inside. 5 days left. Gong Qingyu took out his mobile phone as he spoke. He and Li Fengxian stayed in the Shira world for 10 days. Gong Qingyu, the president of the student union, had to deal with the work of the student union as soon as he came out. But in the next moment, Gong Qingyu's footsteps stagnated. Li Fengxian stabbed and said, what's the matter? Those guys succeeded in rebelling. Gong Qingyu didn't speak. The surprise on his face grew stronger and stronger. Li Fengxian stopped and looked over subconsciously. At this moment, Gong Qingyu clicked on a video. Li Fengxian grabbed the phone and pressed play. Yi Feng. Seeing the familiar figure, Li Fengxian immediately became interested. What is this kid doing? But then, a picture that shocked him appeared. The smile on Li Fengxian's face gradually stiffened, and then his eyes widened. 10 gold levels were instantly controlled. Li Fengxian suddenly felt that there were not enough brain cells. This, are you kidding me? But what happened immediately made Li Fengxian's shock stronger and stronger. To the end. Gudong. Li Fengxian stared at the phone without saying a word. Silver 1 star, 2000-year soul rings. Gong Qingyu said to himself, force control of 1 gold star, being chased and killed by the peak of diamonds and safe and sound. Fengxian, can you do it? Li Feng was silent. If he switched with Yi Feng, he would have been reincarnated long ago. Don't talk about him, even 10 Li Fengxian wouldn't be enough to die in that situation. I cannot do it. Gong Qingyu suddenly smiled bitterly. I thought, who knows? I admire it. Proud like him, this moment was also shocked by Yi Feng's miracle. Hey, do you think he will go to Chaos Secret Realm with us? Li Fengxian said suddenly. Gong Qingyu was stunned for a moment, he forgot about this just now. Although the current Yi Feng is much weaker than them, the principal and the others may not let Yi Feng participate. At this time, the internet has been completely boiled over because of this incident. Not only the two of them, but also the roles of the major forces and all parties are being discussed. Magic City, Zujiako District. The kilometer-high skyscrapers radiate dazzling brilliance under the sun. This is the headquarters building of Soul Crystal Mining Group. Right now, on the highest platform of the skyscraper, an ordinary-looking but unusually dressed young man stared at his phone in a daze. Sesong. A majestic voice sounded from behind. Wu Sesong quickly put the phone in his pocket. Dad. The person who came was Wu Zhonglin, chairman of Soul Crystal Mining Group. In terms of strength and status, he may not be as good as the 3 major families, but in terms of financial strength and influence, Wu Zhonglin surpasses the 3 major families. Wu Zhonglin was wearing a spotless suit. Although he was not tall and even a little fat, he exuded the air of a superior. A pair of eyes flashed as if they could read people's hearts. Don't hide it, I also watched that video. Wu Zhonglin's voice could not hear happiness or anger. Zhang Wuji came to apologize half a month ago, and then the old-fashioned Wu Zhonglin took the initiative to dissolve the engagement. For this reason, Wu Sisong kept himself locked here, and did not go out for half a month. Dad, I'm fine. Wu Sisong smiled bitterly. This person. I'm convinced. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.